I thought I removed the loop. Loop, unloop. There. Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 65 of Left for Random Talk. Oh, I'm getting a message. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And I'm here as well.
Hello.
Alright. So, yes, welcome. Episode 65.
Yeah. Just four
You know,
more.
but it's so weird. We've done this like what? A year now? Almost a year?
Year and a half, give or take.
Wow. We're already at 65 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. So, yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I picked the wrong thing. So, yeah, a little bit has happened this week. A lot of crazy shit. So, yeah. Also, someone pointed me to an interesting video a little while ago.
Oh?
Well, it was about Mini Lad and like why he might have left the crew or the Vanos crew or whatever they call themselves. And well, I got a theory actually. I think I know what happened.
What?
Well, again, this is unsubstantiated. This isn't me trying to spread rumors, so please, no one jump
Don't
down my
take
throat.
anything he's about to say to heart.
Exactly. Don't just say, "Oh, Rev wants to destroy Mini because he's dead." It's like, no. That's not my goal. What I think happened is this. According to one of his meme streams, he let something slip where he said when someone asked him why he doesn't play with the other guys anymore, he says, "Oh, I don't know what they're doing anymore. They kicked me from their chats." Then he immediately backpedals and says, "Well, they didn't kick me, you know. They left the group and you know, etc., etc., etc."
Yeah.
Then Terrorizer in one of his Minecraft streams mentions that Minnie leaves, starts bad mouthing the others, and they kind of cut communications. This is what I think happened. I think Minnie was angry that the others were getting, popular off of him. That's what I think happens because, Minnie's a good guy and all, but I do think he has a bit of an ego, you know? He just doesn't
And
show it. Because
yeah.
I've noticed a subtle pattern where he'll go with other groups and then spontaneously leave the group, and then nothing is talked about. He still sees them in a positive light, but these guys don't really talk about Minnie that much. Like, what was that other group he was a part of for a while? I'm trying to remember.
Uh, I
I
know.
can't remember.
I know that
Go
he
ahead.
he played with like Captain Sparkles,
Mhm.
and Syndicate,
Yes.
as well as Sea Nanners and Chilled
Yes.
Chaos.
Well, that's the thing. There was another group like he did live stuff with, and I can't remember who they were for the life of me.
Hmm.
But I just know that he says he doesn't do stuff with those guys anymore because they moved on. He's moved on, and yet these guys don't really bad talk Minnie either. But there's this kind of like air of we don't like to talk about Mini Lad. And what leads me to believe is that he has a diva moment or he has an ego trip or something of like that.
He had an
Which
episode.
exactly or something or he has this kind of tendency to be very, oh, I'm the one carrying the team, which that could be a thing. I'm not saying he's like that 24/7. I just think maybe he gets like that every now and then.
Yeah.
And what I think happened is that he got mad with with the crew because he felt they were getting big off of him, even though a lot of times he tends to say, "Oh no, it was a group effort." But that kind of again that doesn't sound sincere when he says it. But what I think happened is he leaves. They let him leave amicably, like there's no bad blood. He chooses to leave. They say, "Okay, bye, whatever." He leaves the group. I think a little while later, the group's like, "Okay, since Minnie's not going to be here anymore, let's just remove him from the chats and everything, since he's chosen to leave." Like anyone would. And if he wants to come back, he can talk to one of us. Like a normal person.
Hmm.
But I think it happens. Mini Lad notices this. He assumes that they've kicked him because they don't like him or they hate him. Like I think it was just a misunderstanding, and he jumps to conclusions. Leads Minnie to bad mouthing them on Twitter and the meme and the streams, and creates this bad blood when there was never any bad blood to begin with. And now there's kind of like this. They don't talk to each other anymore, but they don't really, and they don't like each other. But there's no like Minnie's out to get them or the group's out to get Minnie. There's nothing like that,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell. So it just seems like it was a oh god, it's in the back of my mind for a second. It's oh god, it was just poor communications leading to undue drama in the group.
Yeah. I'll admit that I actually have these episodes a lot, but I don't do anything.
Mhm. Exactly, and like I said, I do think that there are issues with the guys in in Vanos's crew. This is true,
Yeah.
because obviously, well, again, they all kind of fall into a character archetype within each other. That's always the thing.
Hmm.
And what it's. I don't think there's anything malicious. I don't think Vanos is like operating behind the scenes, telling them, "Okay, I'm the star, and all of you are partner." I don't think that happens. I just think Vanos is an asshole, and he just does something, to be a prick, and it just kind of and everyone just kind of unfolds around him. He's the epicenter of a prank, and the others just kind of roll with it. We know that Nogla has a temper when he gets competitive. We've all seen it.
And we know that like whenever Vanos pulls his pranks, it's always directed towards either strictly Minnie or
Yes,
Terrorizer. Mostly
exactly, and
Terrorizer.
well, that's the thing. Terrorizer. I like to say he he goes into try hard mode a lot. Not that I'm not picking on the guy or anything, or I'm not trying to be mean about it. What I'm saying is that many sorry, Terrorizer is very he's a very serious guy, so
He's
it's very
he's a
easy.
very energetic kind of guy.
Exactly, and it's very easy to get his goat because
Yeah.
again, he tries to be the straight guy in all this, and it winds up blowing up in his face most of the time. But the
But
good thing about him
the
is,
good news is that Minnie still talks to Vanos.
yeah, that still happens. It just doesn't seem to be with everyone, though. That's the thing.
No, he doesn't really talk to any of the others unless, like, I don't know, it's for recording. But he does
Exactly,
talk. Apparently, he does still talk to Vanos, and he's supporting each other. Yeah, they're
which is
supporting
good.
each
Which
other.
is good.
He
But
still
it's still,
he still talks to Jiggly Panda, of course.
of course. But
Dear
that's what I'm.
sweet gods.
But this is what I mean. It's just that it just seems like it's beef with only a few people in the group, and it doesn't even seem to be that invasive. It just seems like, like with all friends, you have those periods in time when you don't want to talk with your friend. You let things mull over, and then eventually you both move on and become friends again. That's the thing. And like I said, with the Vanos crew, everyone just kind of falls into, I don't want to say an archetype, but they all fall into a role within the videos or anything. And the good thing is that they know how to play off each other, because most of the time, whatever prank or whatever they're doing will blow up in the prankee's face. Most of the
Yep.
time, anyways.
Like, H2O Delirious's pranks always blow up in his own face sometimes.
Exactly. And like I said, actually, to take a quote from Red Letter Media, Delirious is the master of what I like to call boobery. Yes. I'm sorry. Like, the idea of that would be a funny subtitle. H2O Delirious, Master of Boobery. There's
By the
just a
way,
picture of him
Rev,
falling.
have
Yeah.
you noticed anything about my microphone?
You sound more clear?
Exactly. I don't know what the hell I did. My microphone is clear.
Yes.
Also, Streamlabs has a noise gate on it now, so even if the fizz comes back, it's not going to be so prominent. Also, I can hear
Okay.
myself just a little bit on your end.
I know that's because I have another set of headphones in, trying to volume. The thing is that my previous pair of headphones, they work. It's just everything's really low. So I decided, okay, let me use these ones. And now they're like they're exploding out my ears. It's like, okay, okay, I fucked up. But yeah, but like I said, it's just this is just a theory on my behalf, my part. I don't want to like imagine they're secretly trying to attack each other. I don't think they don't seem like the type. The only one I think who would be Wildcat. I honestly believe that would be the case because I don't know. There's something about Wildcat that makes me think, okay, he's a prick, but not in the good way. You
Yeah.
know, like there's something about him that screams control freak, and in the worst possible way.
I will be right back.
Okay. And while that happens, I'll continue to say to continue to badmouth people who are bigger than me because I am a jealous asshole. No, I kid. Uh, but no. And like I said, in all honesty, I don't believe there's anything really malicious behind the Vanos crew. I think that,
No,
like I
not at
said,
all.
yeah, it's
Like,
just
every
fun.
group has their time of, like, intense drama.
Yes.
Sometimes a group will come back afterwards, sometimes they don't, and it's normal.
Yeah, it is the the fracturing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back stronger. It's like, okay. Sometimes people will leave and they don't want to talk with people anymore because, reasons, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They're not Satan all of a sudden.
They're not evil. Like, people have to also realize that these guys have known each other even before they all just exploded on YouTube.
Exactly. But like I said, they discover. Here's the thing, and I've said this 100 times. The formula to success, at least when it comes to YouTube, has always been you need like at the minimum 3 or 4 people to make something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why our views are shit. Nah, I kid. Again, we don't do this for the views or the attention. We just do this because, hey,
No.
why not?
I
It's
was
fun.
gonna tell you something, but now that you've said that, I can't.
Oh no.
We have 88 subscribers.
Yay! We still love you.
Welcome to this shit show. Why are you here?
No, it's like you say that. The second you said that's like I had to say something. You blew our sponsorship.
Oh god. Personally, if we ever got sponsored by somebody, it has to be like I want to say monster just because I like a specific type of monster. But I would have to say no because that would mean I'd be chugging it all the damn time.
Oh no.
I don't want that. Like
Just product placement everywhere.
Sobe, please sponsor us. You have strawberry daiquiri Sobe. That's so good.
What would you see is that slowly, as soon as we get picked up by Monster, you start seeing Monster cans slowly dominating the set.
There actually used I always wanted to put like a Monster Energy drink on my side, but I decided against it because we already have that beautiful pile of shit on your side. Why would I ever distract people from this horrific horror show that is a bottle?
That is
and
a bottle.
Surprisingly, I'm not talking about the head crab or the skull or the bananas.
Exactly. Because bananas are wonderful.
Yeah, bananas are. I love bananas. Chiquita bananas. You can sponsor us, please.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you for admitting you're part of the Yiga clan. Awesome.
What?
The Breath of the Wild joke.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a faction of ninjas that will attack you. And when you defeat
them,
they drop bananas.
They are obsessed with bananas. I saw PM Seymour. He's a voice actor out there. He has like hour-long or so playthroughs of certain parts of Breath of the Wild. He burns through a lot of content just to show us the beasts. But at one point, he shows us like how to save the Gerudo that's like imprisoned by these ninja idiots, and how you get past the guards by throwing down a banana.
And then they'll skip to the fucking thing.
Like you watch this guy, he sees a banana, he looks around, he starts tiptoeing over to the banana like yum 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 yum. And like the second the guy sees you, you're killed. You have to keep trying.
But that's the thing, it's hilarious because apparently it's part of like actual Japanese history / culture. Like there was a group who was obsessed with bananas like that from some province.
I like to think the leader of the group is like an orangutan.
Have you seen him?
Yes, I've seen that fight. I like that his voice keeps going even as he's going all the way down that pit.
But that's the funny thing. The motherfucker is an orangutan. He has the body shape of a monkey.
I knew it.
It still cracks me up. Like, this is the most pathetic boss I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's up there. He kills himself.
I have to admit, I really like each of the divine beasts and their designs. Yeah, I mean, they're cliche in like what they went with for each area, but pretty cool.
A cliche, but the concept is fun. The boss you fight becomes the dungeon, and then you have to navigate. It's like, yes.
It's like they combined Shadow of the Colossus with Legend of Zelda.
Yes, and it worked surprisingly well.
Yeah.
That said, I honestly would turn one of these into a house.
Because
I'm that crazy.
I know you would. Which one, like, though? Would you go with like the elephant that squirts water, the bird, or the lightning camel? I haven't been able to see the fourth one, if there is a fourth one.
Lizard.
I haven't seen that one yet.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. It's like, I want to say the lightning camel just because that's built more like a house. The interior is like an actual castle / temple.
That rotates.
Yes.
It's a drum. Plus, it is. You get a hamster, they're going to be entertained for hours.
Mm-hmm. No,
I would pick the elephant just because I like water.
Yeah.
Free shower.
That's still funny though when you think about it. It's like, okay, I gotta go to the store. Move my entire house there.
Oh wait, I gotta go to the bathroom. Rotate.
Exactly.
Oh, that'd be horrible. You're in the bathroom and suddenly it has to rotate again.
I'd like to imagine that this
No!
is, but it's still funny. But anyway, my point still stands. Like I said, I don't think there's a. I think there's a chance to salvage the friendship because, like I said, they don't seem to out and out. It's not like a lot of other groups out. You know, it's not like okay, for example, remember when we talked about lol cows on the show?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we mentioned Christian, we mentioned DSP. Uh, but the point I want to make is that one of them, Wings of Redemption, the fat fuck who did the gastric sleeve surgery.
Ugh.
I never understand that really. I get why you do it, but at the same time, I'm looking at it as like that's not going to solve your problem.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's not a substitute. But anyway, what I bring up about is that with him, when he left his friends, they had reason to get rid of him, and that was because he was such a piece of shit. You know, like just absolutely unbearable. And these guys were like, you know, that they became pricks to him, but you know, they're not evil. I want to say, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they're jerks, but the type that you root for because it's like, yeah, they had to deal with this negative piece of shit all the time. Like for God's sakes, one of them um, wanted to help Wings lose weight, right?
Yeah.
So he invites him to his house, which is like a 4 or 5 hour drive away from where Jordy lives, Wings of Redemption. And they put him on like what is it? A homemade dietary boot camp, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like in the house in the surrounding area. And this is how much the guy wanted to help him. He went out of his way to install a new bathroom for Wings because he was too fucking fat to fit in there. And again, that's dedication. And immediately after it's all said and done, Wings badmouths the guy. He's like, "Oh, he didn't teach me anything. He didn't really help." It's like, you piece of shit. You absolute piece of shit. And that's what I mean. Sometimes friendships end because someone is really just a fat piece of shit that just doesn't care. Ugh. Again, the guy didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve to be treated by like trash from you. But those videos are still out there, by the way. If you want to see a fat loser just struggle in life,
If you want to feel
it's
good about yourself.
exactly. Well, no, it's funny because they get him to like do these ridiculous exercises, like pick up a tire, throw it, then go and pick it up again, or uh, lay on the floor and drag yourself via this rope. Which is again, it's a good idea, except he's floundering, like waddling on the ground like a fish, just like. And for some
Mhm.
reason, there's a clown just mocking him. Well, obviously, it's his friend dressed up as a clown, but it's still funny. It's still funny to see. It's like, okay, why is this land whale being mocked by a clown? Why is he dragging himself towards him with a rope? But no, like I said, just you know, sometimes this happens. Yeah, I think we've been going long enough on this tangent for 20 minutes.
Yeah. My mom just got home with my brother with pancakes and a slice of ham from Denny's, so I might get up and grab that, because that's delicious.
Oh,
Oh,
I
no.
saw the video you sent me.
I know.
Well, that's the funny. So for anyone who doesn't know, she sent me the "Hi, welcome to Chili's animation" or the fast food rumble. And
Yeah.
fun story. When I was a part of another friend of mine's um porn what's it called, Pictaro,
Yeah. Picardo.
whatever that thing, Picardo, right? As part of that, you know, they were talking about ass and about that,
Yeah.
right? So I took Mini Lad's dialogue for that part. I just wrote it down and I said, you know, they're talking like Wendy's and everything, and I immediately said, "Hi, welcome to Wendy's." And no, what is? Hi, welcome to
McDonald's.
yeah, welcome to McDonald's inside of a Chili's inside of Wendy's ass. And
No. It was Wendy's inside McDonald's inside of Wendy's ass.
Exactly, and they were just dying of laughter. Like, what? Needless to say, Wendy was the next thing to be drawn.
Oh no.
But yeah. Anyway. So let's get into this. So, oh, by the way, I want to also instill kind of a rule on the show. By the way, real quick.
Hmm.
So we all know what a thought is, right?
Yeah.
Not the mind thought. I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, just so everyone knows. I've decided that since they want to be nothing more than eye candy for people, I am going to dehumanize them
Uh-oh.
because I don't care. So from now on, every time someone talks about a famous thought or thoughts in general, I'm just going to go with, oh, so it's thought number 25. You don't get a name anymore here.
Let's
You
hope
get a
you remember
number.
that rule.
Oh, I plan to. Like I said, they think they're all that, and oh, it's like, oh, I'm so sexy, but I'm gonna treat people like trash. Well, I'm gonna treat you like a piece of meat. I'm going to brand your ass with a number. Suck it, you cow. Oh, I went there. Oh, I went
Oof.
there. Like I said, I'm done playing this game. So whenever, and they, it'll drive them nuts because I only do this because people will remember their name and their pretty face. It's like, no, you are now designated this number. Enjoy. So, like for example, hypothetically, bitch who throws cat. She is thought number 12.
Oh,
You're not even
there's
good enough
your
to.
cat.
You're not even good enough to be in the top 5. You're 12. Enjoy it. And I'm just going to keep doing that from now on. In fact, I'm going to superimpose a number on their faces. See how much that pisses them off.
Again, let's hope you remember your rule.
Oh, I plan to. If it pisses them off, I'm planning. And they're going to come after me. They're going to be like, oh, this hate-filled robot is so sexist. Like, bitch, I don't care. I don't have to settle. I have porn. Exactly. Why am I going to throw my money away at you who won't even show me your tits when I can go look up this naked woman over here for free? Oh, that's right. That's right. I can look at boobs for free. That sounds like a D-list porn site, boobsforfree.com. It's like Spencer's or something stupid. Anyway. Finally getting back in. So today with our, what is this? Yeah, episode 65, we have the following. A bit of big news, actually, in the gaming sphere this week. And a bit of discussions as well. First up, we have Destiny 2 goes free to play and launches with new expansion Shadowkeep. Is Bungie taking the right steps to reestablish good faith with the fans? Next. Warframe Nightwave Season 2 comes to an end, talking about the story and the new boss in-game. Pay-to-win monetization wave hits major game launches, Mario Kart, Modern Warfare, and Ghost Recon. Why the sudden greed wave? Medieval gets another remake, how it changed from remake to remake. And
Medieval.
lastly, Medieval. A game about playing as a dead man.
I love watching SGB play that game. I think it's SGB.
Yep. And lastly, we have fandoms become something to be ashamed of admitting being a part of? General discussion. Pay to win, more like that. More like that. Yes, thank you. And hello, broski. Once again, welcome. So yeah, let's get into it. So, as everyone knows, about I want to say a day or two ago, Destiny 2 went free to play.
It's always been free to play.
No, it hasn't.
It's been free to play on the BattleNet launch this whole time.
Well, it's on Steam. That's all that matters.
Wow. Now it's free to play there. Okay.
Yeah, what do you think I was talking about?
Well, I play Overwatch sometimes, and I see that Destiny 2 is free to play. So it's been like that. It's been like that since like the previous DLC.
Yeah. Well, it's gone to Steam, and people are already flocking to it in droves. I've decided to get it and see what it's like. Outside of my PC being no, hanging on a few moments, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that intuitive, but it's not that bad. It actually has a new intro. It isn't just you flying to the city when the Cabal attack. It's actually redoing the first part of Destiny 1, which is interesting. It's just like Warframe when, it used to have the pre-level thing,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the old intro. Anyway, um, this is an interesting step because I don't know what Destiny 2 comes with since it's on Steam. I don't know if I know that Forsaken, one of the expansions, isn't with this base game, but I think the other expansions are there, like Warmind and Curse of Osiris. I think those are a part of this free to play model. So the question kind of becomes: was this the right move for Bungie?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, I think Bungie did the right thing. I think it was a smart move to go free to play because that way they can they avoid what's it called? It gets more people into the game. That's the first thing. It's a good idea. More people experience it. More people kind of have fun with the game. That sort of thing. However, I took a look at they have a premium currency. I'm actually loading up the Bungie Destiny 2 page now. So give me a quick second. I might go mental.
Too
My
late.
connection.
Too late.
Exactly. You see, it's already fucking up. Uh, oh god, where is it? Okay, here we go. Destiny 2. Okay, here we go. So, as expected, it's gone free to play, as expected. And, well, it has the premium currency, which is silver. I will now read the following prices off. So, the baseline for 500 is $5. Okay,
Mhm.
not bad. Next one for 2,000, $20. Okay, still not bad. The next one, 3,000, $30. Okay, not bad, not bad. There are two of them for 5,000, $50 each.
Ooh, wow.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, they were going up by 10, so it makes
I, I,
somewhat sense.
yeah, but then it would have been natural to be like, okay, go up 40, no, 50 for two of the same price. This isn't a mistake. They have two exact 5,000 silvers, both for 50, which is 100 if you bought both of them.
What the heck?
Exactly. I don't think this is a glitch either. I think this is purpose.
Hmm.
Flat out.
But still, who is going to pay for that much? Like, I can understand people getting the $5 one and being satisfied with that. Do you actually need the the large amount? Do you actually need it?
Well, here's the thing. With every free to play game, naturally the devs have to make money.
Yeah.
So naturally they have to put certain things behind the price wall, obviously. With Warframe, you don't really get that. What they do is they make you they give you the option of either buying the weapon outright or just getting the blueprint and building it on your own. It's a time sink, but it's not that bad because you're not locked into the time sink. You can just kind of like, wait around, be like, need to
Yeah,
kill
like
time.
right
Oh, I'll do
now I
this
could
later.
rush Atlas Prime's parts being built, but no, I'm not going to.
You could either, yeah, you could do that, or you could spend some time doing other things. Like, okay, I got this Warframe building. I've got some time to kill. Maybe I should go and get some more, farm, kill a boss, get some more resources, yada yada yada. That's
Maybe
fine.
I should rank up this Warframe it's going to replace.
Exactly. You see, there's no
Which
problem.
reminds me, I need to check to see if my Atlas is ranked up. If he is, I'm just gonna flat out sell him. I don't need him anymore. I got Atlas fucking Prime now.
Am I not good enough for you, mother? It's just shouting
Ta-
that.
I was going to answer, but then I realized you said mother. It's just I
But
have like my Warframes all have a story.
mm,
And like
that's
he's a dad of a lot of Warframes, so now there I've said it.
and now it's awkward.
Yeah, he's my Hildren's dad.
Nice. Anyway. But that's kind of the thing you gotta understand. With these free-to-play games, yes, they need to make money. Yes, the most obvious way is to sell the platinum. I almost said ugh, the premium currency, and then have things that they can spend that premium currency on in game. It's a basic economy. That's the thing.
Yeah,
But the thing is that if the what's it called? If the premium currency or whatever you're getting in the game is freely available or easy to get, it makes the premium currency kind of useless. So they have to start gating. So the question becomes, what has Destiny 2 gated off with its silver? And that's what's making me worried because I've just started and I'm already starting to dread, have they put all the best weapons behind premium currency? And is there no way to get it otherwise? That's my
hmm.
concern.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people should be concerned of because now, yes, they're taking the steps in the right direction to salvage Destiny 2 from what Activision did. But at the same time, I like to remind people that Bungie isn't innocent either. A lot of its decisions when it came to Destiny 2 were their own decisions. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, yes. Like I said, I've just started. I had to get rid of Warframe for, disk space. But I don't think I'm going to be playing Destiny for very long. I'm probably just going to go and
Good
install
luck
a bunch.
reinstalling Warframe, by the way.
Yeah. But what I'm going to probably do is go through the campaign once, deal with, go through the story mode, see what all the hubbub is about. Maybe do the DLCs and then get rid of Destiny. And then go back to Warframe. Which, and like I said, I don't think Destiny 2 is going to remove Warframe as the top free-to-play game on Steam. That's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, again, this game has been around for a while, and the joke is Warframe does everything Destiny does better. That's saying something.
I still
Like I said,
really don't understand why people were comparing Destiny and Warframe together.
I don't know either.
Oh, I found the best picture.
None of them, Warframe and Destiny have nothing to do with each other. They're completely different gameplay styles. One is third person, one is first person. One focuses more on guns, while the other is more focused on like guns and swordplay and abilities, that kind of thing. There are similarities, but like I said, Warframe's a different beast. It's more about getting the loot and just having fun, where Destiny's more story driven and grinding for the loot. Oh yes, the grind is real apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that to keep in mind. Let's see what else. But like I said, beyond that, I don't think Destiny. If that's the thing, one of my friends told. Sorry, the dog had a moment there. He's like, why is no one here? He does
Hmm.
that a lot. But the thing that one of my friends mentioned is that she frequents Bungie's website quite a bit. She follows the game. She's very okay. You done there? You done there?
Hi,
I
puppy.
know he's looking at me like, yes, hi, I'm good boy. But yeah, so what I was saying is she frequents Destiny's oh god. she frequents Destiny's website quite often, and she follows what the developers say a lot. It's kind of like the dev streams, except not as fun. As far as I know, they haven't started doing that either. But according to her, they said that they got the launch ready, and now their next focus is fixing the story, which makes me think they're just going to start rewriting a lot of Destiny 2's or Destiny's lore in general, make it more streamlined, make it more, you know, it's here. It's not us looking back.
Yeah.
It's like to use Dark Souls for an example. Dark Souls story happens in the past. So naturally everyone looks back, but they rarely look to the present, what's going on now. That's kind of why I think Dark Souls stories kind of, many of the Dark Souls stories are kind of bad. It's because, oh, it's subjective and this here and oh, it's theories. It's like that. It's like, that tells me, okay, so the writers didn't give a shit. They just put a bunch of clues around and never bothered to actually give a definitive, this is what's happening. Okay. Destiny's guilty of that too, but its story, its interesting things happen in the background, in the lore, in the most inaccessible ways possible. And people are like, they're interested and they're like, oh, this. I sit there, I'm a casual fan. I like what Destiny does, I find it interesting.
Yeah.
But when things from the lore or things from like this expanded lore entry stuff becomes part of the game, my immediate thought isn't, oh, that's interesting, I want to learn more. Who the fuck are you and why should I care?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's been Destiny's big crutch is they create shit, they make up the lore and everything, but they don't commit to one or the other. They don't put what they want to put in the game, and it just comes out pretty poor, pretty boring, pretty poor. And what's happening now is, of course, if this is true that they're going to start fixing the story, I'm starting to think, oh, good, they're finally getting their act together.
We can only hope.
Yeah, but there was a moment I actually watched all of Shadowkeep, the story and everything, and the feeling, the atmosphere is very different from the rest of Destiny 2. And I mean, like, how do I put it? Okay, imagine if, like, you're sitting there watching a kid's TV show because, I don't know, you're curious about it, something of that nature, right?
Yeah.
And then the next season happens, and then suddenly all the characters are fighting like these truly monstrous demons from hell, and someone suddenly dies violently on the screen. That's basically what Shadowkeep did. You can feel the sudden theme shift, the sudden change from make it appealing to everyone to, okay, we've got to put serious, here's the serious stakes, we're fucked. It was
Yeah.
great. In fact, there's a character, right? Eris
Mhm.
Moore, also known as Three-Eyed Blind Chick. Sorry, what a description. But she's a survivor from a team that got wiped out by the Hive, a very powerful. And she kind of suffers from this sort of survivor's guilt PTSD sort of thing, right? But we don't see it. She's more stoic and aloof. But now here in this one, you see her walls breaking down. You see her starting to suffer that survivor's guilt that she supposedly has. And to make matters worse, in this expansion, phantoms, like ghosts of your past, literally start appearing. The big thing is you fight old bosses you fought in Destiny 1, but they're like the ghosts of them. Old accomplishments come back to bite us, kind of thing. And her former fire team is floating around her. They're all dead. They're all. You know how people say whoever survives some that follow them.
I didn't get that. What?
You know that how in like someone survives like a impactive something like that. They say,
Yeah.
oh, they have ghosts with them. They never.
Yeah.
They turn and they always see a ghost there from their past, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
For Eris, this has become literal. We see the ghosts of her fire team. They're there. They're always there around her. And you see that she's starting to break down. You see that her barriers, her walls are fading. And what I love about it is that she's actively fighting to keep her sanity. She's actively trying to get rid of these demons that she has now. And what my favorite part is that when the big threat in this expansion is revealed, it's discovered it's this demon pyramid thing from hell kind of thing, and they're all she's telling your character and another character about this. You actually see the ghost suddenly lean up against her shoulders. They start whispering incoherently. You see her shaking violently, and you think she's gonna break down and cry or something like that, right?
Hmm.
Instead, she turns around, screams, "Quiet!" They're all terrified of her, and she's just yelling at them, saying, "You're all insufferable." Like she's done with their shit. She's not gonna be bullied around. And she even says, "Save your cries of help for someone who gives a damn." And immediately I was like, okay, I like her. She is now my favorite person.
One of my favorite um comics on Tumblr that kind of shows like it it shows like what it's like to have depression. You always have like a little blob of darkness that's like spouting nonsense in your ear, just trying to put you down.
Mhm.
Mine actually has a name. Uh, and like the entire time this person is going about their day with this little blob of evil trying to tear them down, he responds back to them with like really snarky replies, and then finally the little blob of evil tells him like, "Oh, look at that! You're not even listening to the voice of reason." The guy turns and goes, "Why would I listen to the voice of reason if it's such a little bitch?" And and you know that emote that I have in the Discord group that's a snake with the like dot 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 on it.
Mhm.
That's the face it's making. It's like, what?
Oh, that's funny, but that's my point. This shows that they're finally trying to get things in order and actually make Destiny to something they've wanted to make for years now. But the problem is, with anything, how do I put it? If you're making a trilogy of anything, right, a saga with 3 acts to it, you can't really salvage anything if you're in Act 2. That's the problem. A perfect example is the Star Wars trilogy,
Ugh.
the new one.
Uh.
The one with Woodface,
Mm.
I almost said Brie Larson, with wood-faced Ray. Sorry, what was it that someone said? The anthropomorphic block of wood that thinks it's an actor. That's it. And we saw how fucked up it got within like movie 2, and now we're on to movie 3, and they're still fucking. There is no way to salvage this. This is what I mean. You can afford your first act of the story being shit. You can. You can salvage it by Act 2. It's like I said, for the first act of your story, you need to nail it. You need to catch the hook, and you have to have a self-contained story. Right? But
Yeah.
if you fuck it up and it's not too bad, people still like it, but they say it could be better, then good. By Act 2, you can salvage it and kind of make it no problem. But if you still are fucking up by Act 2, there's no saving it by Act 3. No one will be interested. They'll play Act 3 and they'll be like, well, they're more in it to see it end than they're enjoying the ride. That's basically how it is.
Yeah.
For my for this, Destiny 2 did right by the campaign. That was fine. But after the campaign ended and they started adding DLC to the story, it just became a mess. The story became butchered and botched everywhere. The characters became inconsistent to the point of obnoxiousness. That's what I mean. And that's what Bungie has failed. They failed to establish the second act of their three-part story. It's only now that they're introducing the big bad with Shadowkeep, this super powerful pyramid species. And like I said, people are like, oh, this is interesting, but at the same time, why wasn't this part of the main story to begin with? What is going on?
By the way, I'm only sharing that video because that very moment has like something with Star Wars in it.
Okay.
And it fits.
But that's what I mean. It's just become this. Oh, excuse me. It's become an insufferable mess, and Bungie really needs to amp up their game. So the question kind of now devolves into, what will they do for Destiny 2? Are they going to try and make Destiny 3 and salvage it, or are they going to try and salvage everything here and now? Are they going to try and uproot the floorboards and try to rebuild rebuild at the bottom of the steps? Just like how Warframe has no Warframe 2 or Warframe 3. It's just expansions that change the game. Is
Yeah.
Destiny 2 going to go the same way? Are they going to drop the 2 entirely and just call it like Destiny, subtitle this?
Destiny, this is the actual game. No, we're serious. This is going to be a very long title. This is the actual game. Stop laughing. This is the actual game.
Exactly. And that's what I'm thinking. I hope Destiny succeeds. I've never been that's hated Destiny's guts. I hate the writing.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
There's
The
a lot of
writing
games
is
where you can hate the writing, but like the
yes,
game itself is still fun.
yes, there are elements here. There are elements here that can there are elements here in the game that in Destiny that works. There are things such as the fallen, the enemy types, the concepts. Everything here can work. It's just you need a sculptor to sit there and just kind of start putting it together. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's been it's been a slow. I'm not gonna say decline, but if how do I put it in like the most? Oh, why is that playing?
What?
Stop. A video just suddenly popped up. It's like, hey, would you want to hear? No. That. Why are
What I
you
hate
doing
is that
this?
YouTube, like, because I don't use Google, YouTube doesn't know what ads to give me, so it keeps giving me booze, and I keep saying no. It's like, oh, okay, maybe not booze. Oh, wait, no, I don't know what you want. Here, have more booze. No, I don't want booze. I don't drink.
I don't need to drown my sorrows just yet.
Like, I like the commercials they give that, there's a search engine that plants like a dozen trees every time you use it. I like ones like the one that tells you that gives you I'm trying to word shit here. Like it's a commercial for a website that lets you have non-copyright music if you're a content creator.
Good.
And just like ads like that help content creators without them getting in trouble in any kind.
Exactly. But sorry, I got sidetracked there.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
that's my point. Destiny has a chance to become something new, but it's up to Bungie to start sculpting and repairing whatever's there. Like I said, the best way to put it is try not to fuck this up. Besides, people already, since it's gone free to play, people are already starting to rip models. So if they fuck it up, the fans are going to make something. We all know it. Either that or obviously porn. It's always going to come back to that, no matter what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
uh,
so let's move on.
I've been asking everybody in the Nerd Frames comics, like, what vacation would you guys like your Warframes to go on?
Mm-hmm.
Snow and Liam, they want to go to the moon and just look at the Earth. That's beautiful. If only I had a map that wasn't requiring like CS:GO.
I think I know a map. But I'll tell you.
I grabbed the map that Van Austin Friends used when they were all Doritos bags. so I'm just putting them on a hill looking at the Earth, and then I realized, oh wait, they don't have a pet Pokemon. I can't do anything else. Shit. Lycan decided just a private island for him and Ember and their dozens of dogs. I found an island. I think it might actually be a horror map in disguise. Limbo and Saren want to go to a private beach, so another island. Heldred and Rhino want to go mountain climbing. So I grabbed that map that's like the giant lake in a mountain range. And I'm just going to throw you guys in the lake. While Ivara and Chroma, they're probably going to go someplace to swim. And who knows, they might bang. Who knows? I'll make an alternate version.
All right. Anyhow, let's move right along since we've already.
Oh no, the dreaded word. We're gonna get demonetized. Oh no, it's like we're not being paid for this. I am very snippy today.
Yes. So next we have War.
Yay!
And we talked about Nightwave.
Before anything else, Rev, sorry to interrupt, but you need to leave the call and come back.
All right, give me 1 second. Just need to do that. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go.
That's never something you want to hear. Uh-oh. Okay.
The Discord wasn't responding for a second. I was like, oh, this is not good.
All right, try that again. Try it again. Like, we're on to Warframe.
Okay, all right. So, as everyone knows, Nightwave has kind of become the staple of Warframe now. Yeah. Basically, it's something to do. It's like a spin-off within the game, if you will. So, Nightwave Season 2 has come, and it's coming to an end the 15th. So, there's that.
Get your grind on.
Yes, but I think fortunately, me and HH, we've already done it. We have everything.
Yeah. I've finished Nightwave itself. I've gotten well past 30. I've even gotten the weapon that you get from the boss.
Yes. Well, speaking of which, so let's talk about the hold on. I need to turn on the air conditioning because I am starting to sweat like a pig. This little room has no ventilation.
And like everybody else out in the world are freezing. Oh boy.
And I'm back.
Hey.
I was tempted to use one of Johnny's lines of "I am hot as shit in this tiny room." But no. So Nightwave Season 2 has come, and let's mention the story. So basically, infested.
Yep.
That's it. None.
Yep.
But which is interesting because that means the next. I'm hoping the next season is Corpus. I'm hoping that would be the case.
It's very likely.
So the basic story goes like this: an outcast of Cetus, known as Kenga, is. Oh, someone's lurking. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen.
Oh, it's Salty Dark.
Thanks for.
They just totally glossed over Kinga. Yeah.
Yes, they did. So Kenga is, how do I describe it? He's if I remember correctly, he's a member of Cetus
Yep.
who was outcast from the colony. Did they say why? Like what was it? I know he's a bad
Uh,
man. It's like
he he's more of a con artist kind of merchant, which is not what they're about.
uh, okay. You know
Like
what?
that's just like that's just the vibe I got from all that because I didn't really understand what was going on.
Hold on. To Wikipedia.
We
This is
go.
why we have it. Okay, here we go. Kenga. Right. So the information goes as okay. He's an exiled man who had been exposed to the infested at some point, leading him to be sent to Eris, a distant planet tainted by the infested. So basically, he was exiled and got sick with infestation. Somehow. Okay. So he goes to see Eris because I guess Eris has kind of become like a leper colony.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where you send the sickness, you know, the sick.
Yeah.
I had to. But basically, what winds up happening is that he finds this kid called Arlo, who supposedly died a long time ago because of the infestation, and yet Arlo is here. He's alive, and he cures him of his sickness. And this is a big deal because yes, there are cures to the infestation, but they're not widely known. You know, you have Aladvi who somehow cured himself from the infestation, and you have the Myconians who
Mm-hmm.
understand the infested.
Yeah.
But a cure to the infested exists. It's just you're not going to be 100% clean. It's going to leave scars somewhere.
Yeah.
And yet Arlo has the ability to remove the infested completely, and he cures Kenga. Kenga talks to the system. He says, "Oh, I've been cured. I've been saved. Yada yada yada." So people start flocking in mass to seek Arlo, to seek the boy who can cure the sick. And a cult slowly forms around Arlo, which I think it's just called like the Cult of Arlo or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they wind up sending their devoteds, who are just basically, I want to say they're just colonists, you know, very low-ranking members of the cult, obviously, based on like how they dress. I actually like the way they dress.
Do keep in mind that it's gonna take me twice as long to get these images.
Oh, I know. I'm just kind of setting it up slowly.
And apparently, it's not just Discord that does that. It's like my entire computer does that.
Hmm.
So while I was on Warframe, what the hell? Don't do that. I tried to click on like Prime Time is gonna be live here soon. Like you click on it and it'll take you to that website, etc., etc. Nothing happened. So it's gonna take twice as long for me to get these pictures to show up for everybody. Sorry about that. There we go.
It's fine. But so these guys, these devoted, I actually like how they dress. The like look at it very closely. It looks like they look like medical officials with the
Yeah.
masks, the neutral colored clothing, how tight it all looks. You know, obviously to keep like
Sterile white.
exactly, that's it. How the whole clothing is sterile, and then they have these lanterns, which I think that's what officially it is. It's just a lantern. And what I like is that if you're with friends in multiplayer and you fall and your friends are too busy, they'll actually come out, save your wounded friend, and then disappear. So they kind of became like a friendly NPCs.
Unless you're somebody named Random Ostrich, then they will shoot the hell out of you.
For some weird reason.
it was hilarious. Like Liam, I think it was Liam or Snow and I, me, Ostrich, yeah, it was Liam, and Liam went to the Orb of Valis to do some some stuff for Nightwave. I don't remember I think we were just like fishing. That's all we were doing. And the fucking mother spider sniped both of us, like me and Ostrich. Well, first me, and then, well, no, it was me. And one of these devotees just showed up to resurrect me, but he stuck around because Ostrich went down because he shot at the guy out of curiosity. Now, keep in mind, these dudes are armed. They have the lady from Steel Meridian, her Zylock, I believe it's called. They have her pistol, and that's what they're armed with.
And that thing hurts.
Yeah. So they resurrected me, shot Ostrich in the head, disappeared, and they immediately reappeared, resurrected Ostrich, and just stood there for 5 minutes. It was the weirdest thing ever, but we got all of our fish, we scanned the guy, we left them the fuck alone.
That kind of makes me think of they're like a paladin or something.
Yeah.
It's like by the like you accidentally hit them, they scream heretic, smacks them, they fall down, then heals them. It's like, by the grace of my God, you are healed. But you just hit me. No, you're fine.
I keep like just that entire sequence. I started thinking about an SCP, but I don't remember which one.
One that reacts if you attack it. I think that sounds familiar. I can't remember though.
That's a majority of them, in all honesty. Oh, I remember what I was thinking about. It was not SCP at all. You know that old game, The Rake?
Yes.
I remember, like, during that whole sequence, I was thinking about how Mark and Wade kept killing themselves on bear traps, and then just like immediately walking over to save the other and get killed by a bear trap just over and over.
Yes. It's still funny. But anyway,
Yeah.
the point is that these devotees start showing up, they start healing the warframes. People were like, oh, thank you. But me and HH were like, okay, what's your game here? Why are you helping us? And it slowly kind of began. We speculated that they're in this not because they want to help us. It's because they want something. And I think by the second episode, we find out why. They're saving the warframes specifically to gather. This is what I think. I think they were helping the warframes to extract the Helmeth virus from the warframes, specifically that strain.
Yeah.
Because shortly after they start doing that, another type of devotee started appearing, and these were the zealot or the zealot. What's it called? The zealot.
You have the herald.
Proselytizer.
Yeah, you also have the herald. You have the I want to say it's the bastion, but that's not it.
No, that's later.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. These zealots started appearing, and they started just attacking everything.
They spawn in threes, by the way, and it's not fun.
No. Well, they used to spawn in twos, which was the zealot herald and the zealot proselytizer. But then they started coming in threes later. But that's the point. That's later. There's something interesting I want to mention. When they started appearing, like I've sent her the image. You notice how like normal they look. It's clear the infestation is slowly overtaking them, but they're still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now notice something here with the next one. Same type, but look at the body.
Yeah.
This is what I think happened. I think that for those of you who don't know or can't see at the moment, basically they used to have the same. Oh, there it is on the image. Never mind. I'm an idiot. But no, this is what's interesting. They slowly started to change, become more infested, more bestial for some reason.
Yep.
Changing. And what's interesting is it kind of coincided with the others because the more that Arlo cured, the more devoted they became to his cause. Illnesses that were terminal were cured. like again, to use cancer for an example, it's like using cancer to cure AIDS, basically. That was what it was becoming. And they kept devoting themselves, they kept throwing themselves into the infested. They gave their lives entirely to Arlo because Arlo, basically saved them. He brought them from the brink.
Yeah.
But then it started to get worse. They started to lose their mind, spreading the sickness even further and further and
And then the
further.
congregation happened, and it just went wild.
Exactly. And the secret of Arlo is revealed. It turns out that this entire time, Arlo has in fact been infested. He's a lure. And this entire time, these people have been giving themselves to the infested to be turned into pawns, to be turned into new infested types for their army. And the scary part is, I think that because of the devoted and because of Arlo's cult, I think the infested now know how to create warframes.
Which is
As in
bad.
ones that can be completely controlled. Because now the zealots are the closest thing you're ever going to get to an infested created warframe, and we've seen this before with Nidus, and that put us all at risk basically. Because if now the infested have their own forms of warframes, it means they have their own forms to fight back against the Tenno. Now they're adapting, now they're changing. That also said, this also introduced us to two new infested types in this mode, in this series, actually. And that was the Undying Flayer, which is a new infested Grineer, and the Leaping Thrasher.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, apparently people have examined the Thrasher and the Undying Flayer, and they think it's the same Grineer.
The Thrasher is ancient.
Well, that's the thing. Well, yeah, it's ancient, but I don't think it's ancient as in from the time of the Orokin. I think it's ancient as in this thing's been around for a while. In general.
I think it might have been. I think it was from like the time of the Orokin, but it's like not an Orokin itself. It is like the same unit of Grineer.
Well, that's the thing. If you there's an image floating. Actually, here it is. Perfect example. If you look at this, you notice that there are too many similarities between both units to be coincidences. Just take a good look.
Yep.
You see? I think it is a Grineer, a modern Grineer, one that's been infested for years now. It's just now they're starting to show up. And I think, I think that's rational to assume. Anyway, I actually like the Leaping Thrashers. It's a very creative design.
I don't.
Really?
Because it's frustrating to deal with them. Like, I did a derelict defense, like one of the derelicts that showed up, and people hadn't really figured out. Like, I had figured out very, very quickly, just because I'm a Vara and I take my time, I do these things. I had figured out very quickly that when you kill these things, they drop a spawn pod, which will resurrect them in a plume of toxins.
Oh, wait, is it still the Thrasher?
No, it's the guy with the thing sticking out of his chest.
Oh, the flaying leaper.
Yeah.
The Undying Flayers.
So, we had quite a few of these two things spawning, especially the flying guy. And my party did not really realize that you have to focus on this thing longer than the other infested, or else he's going to come back and put toxin procs on everybody.
Right.
So I don't like those things because you have to focus on them so much longer, which means you're going to take so many more hits from the infested. And if you don't focus on them, you're going to get toxin procced and probably go down very quickly. It's a very creative thing, I'll give them that. It's just people need to realize when you kill one of those things, focus on it. Don't leave it alone.
Well, actually, there's something I want to mention, and that is, if you, okay, if you kill one of the Undying, right, and they become the pod,
Yeah.
it's actually possible to scan the pod when the sorry, it's possible to get more scans out of that infested when it's in its pod form.
Yep.
So it's entirely possible for you to scan to get a complete codex off of them just by killing and scanning the pod multiple times.
Yeah, but a lot of them do spawn when you're in those derelicts. So if you're playing as like Ivara for some of the missions, just bring a Helios and you're fine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I didn't, at least to me, I didn't notice or I didn't face a lot of. Excuse me. I didn't face a lot of undying flares actually. It's weird, but I seem to have been fighting more of the
The
more of
giant
the regular
guys.
infested. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Than I did the flares. It was kind of odd, but at the same time, I was like, okay, this is not that bad. But anyway, so we have a running theory. We suspect that Arlo is has been dead. We think
Yeah.
he's been dead since day one. And the reason we believe this is because at the end of Nightwave, Kenga is no longer anywhere to be found. And Arlo is still out there. Nora says that, be careful when you go to an infested site and you see a wide-eyed kid lost and doesn't speak, run away. This is what I think happened. I think Arlo died from the infestation a long time ago. Exactly within those 4 years or however long it was. He's been dead for a while. And the infested have simply replicated his form and have seeded what I'm now calling Arlo lures all over the system. And I think this is how the infested managed to get on ships and spread around so quickly. It's not because they just launch, uh, plague stars everywhere. I think what it really is that they seed a ship, any ship, with that once they take over a ship or whatever, or colony or station, whatever have you, what they'll do is they'll put an Arlo lure on it, and then have the ship drift, maybe send out an SOS. The people come to the ship, they, human nature kicks in, they want to save the kid, they bring the kid on board, and then the kid starts the infestation on his own. And that's how I think they're starting to spread throughout the system, at least through the ships. And again, it's kind of telling. Next to that, so Arlo's been dead for a while, and I think that Kenga knew about this, but I don't think he had a choice in the matter. What I think happened is that Arlo, okay, this Arlo was found on Eris, or Eris,
Hmm.
and we know that the Eris has basically become a no-fly zone for any ship. The only ones who are out there are obviously the Grineer, the Corpus, and that's because they're fighting each other. And I think it's that the infested can't spread that often. They know the Tenor are a threat. They don't want to draw attention. Kenga arrives on the site. The infested destroy everyone, but keep him alive. They say that they'll get rid of his infestation if he spreads the word of Arlo. Make it so that people believe that Arlo's some miracle saint child, and they let Kenga go free, cured and everything. Kenga, being the greedy person he is, agrees to this, and so everyone, he plays along. He starts sending messages out. He starts talking about the wonder kid that is Arlo, yada yada yada. And
Con artist.
exactly, and it eventually leads, and it eventually leads to sorry, eventually our Kenga leaves, vanishes completely. And I think that's because his part of the bargain's done, and he's not sticking around to see the infested act on their next instinct. So I think happened. I'm sorry, that's what I think's happened. Ugh. So now we have another thing to mention. At the end of the Nightwave Emissary, um, Nora says that the infested mass on Eris is stirring again, and people are worried because like I said, this means that the infested are waking up. The hive mind is active again, and that people are worried. People are scared that this means a new plague is going to happen. One with a mind that can command them.
Yeah.
It's interesting to consider, actually. All things considered.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the only thing we need to mention. We have a new boss in Warframe, part of the Derelicts.
It is
And
such a pain in the ass. Not the fight, like kind of the fight, because he does jump around once he notices that you're next to him. It's the pain in the ass is getting the keys to get to his derelict.
yes,
Because to get the keys, you have to do 3 invasion missions. Lamp. Yeah. You have to do 3 invasion missions on the planet that has an infested derelict on it. The problem is, once you do 3, you can't get any more from doing the other 3-stage invasions. So once you get 3, you're done with that planet, and you have to wait and wait and wait until another invasion flares up on another planet.
exactly.
It's so annoying.
And to make matters worse, the boss's weapon can only be farmed through
From the through assassination-based derelicts. But keep in mind, sometimes I actually learned this the hard way. Sometimes when you go to these derelicts thinking you're going to do an assassination mission again after just doing one of them, they will actually change to a different mission once you get rid of the zealot that's there. So you have to go to a different planet that has assassination. But as Snow said, the premise of the boss fight, you find the bastard, who is a very tall, lanky dude, makes me think of the Shy Guy. You whittle down his health as much as you can before he triggers a cutscene, revealing that a cloud that he and his he looks so much like the Shy Guy crossed with like a, oh gosh, what are they called? They're from XCOM.
Sectoids.
Sectoids, yeah. He looks a bit like that. Also a bit like a Warframe.
Well, there's a reason I bring up the image for a second. I'm gonna show you in a moment, but trust me, just give it a second. Just keep going.
But the premise of the fight is like, I was already there. Where was I? He triggers a cutscene to reveal that he and his followers emit some sort of energy or particle that makes the infested completely invulnerable to anything, even your abilities.
Yes.
Which sucks. And your job is to follow him, avoiding the infested, because you can't kill them anyway. And he'll get to that one derelict room with a large twisty tree in the very center and 2 floors. The one that is such a pain in the ass to get up and down in quickly without bumping your head into a wall or a ledge. This entire thing is going to have one theme, that is, it's a pain in the ass. Just because of how tedious some things are.
Yes.
Anyway, you find him in that room, and you have to go off into one of the rooms branching off of it to find one of his followers emitting this particle that's keeping everybody invulnerable, except for themselves. You kill them, they drop a lamp. You pick up the lamp, and you're stuck with your melee or your secondary. So you need to have a crew to do this, or have a really, really powerful secondary gun. You kill the infested, making sure that that makes the radius of the lamp that removes the invulnerability, by the way. The more infested you kill within that radius, the longer it stays. And you have to keep doing that while chasing this bastard around one little room until you whittle his health down long enough for him to trigger another cutscene where he destroys the lamp. Drop it, by the way, when he starts pulling from it. drop it and move away because you're going to be stunned and it's going to burn through your time. And when
by the
he
way, there's
does,
no time limit, by the way, just to clarify.
yeah, it's just this entire thing is like a repeated sequence. You keep going until the guy is dead or until you run out of lives. That's it.
Yes.
But
Well, it's a.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Well, what I was going to say is this: that this boss, I'm not gonna. He's not hard. He's not a
No.
difficult fight at all.
No.
It's for example, I typically run with an Ignis Wraith, with what's it called? Corrosive or radiation, and that really does a number. But the problem stems from is that these invulnerability stages can drag the fight, and
Yeah.
I appreciate them doing something different. It's just it seems like it feels like this fight is more geared towards you with a group. Like one guy is designated lamp holder, and then the rest are more damage focused. That's what I think it is. At least that's how I see it. That's how I
Yeah.
see the fight built up, which again isn't anything negative. And like I said, I actually like the fact DE makes it have actually made a brand new boss and not just recycling an old boss or character.
Yeah, even like the Wolf of Saturn 6 was not very entertaining as a boss. It was just run around the same room that Sargus Rook uses, shoot him, and pray to God that you're not in his line of sight when he starts swinging that hammer.
Yes.
I did that entire run for the wolf as Ivara, by the way, just hiding and shooting him with a pea shooter, and
No,
that
I
was
had
it.
to. No, I had to fight with friends because, like I said, I deal damage via the Ignis, but we all know that he's immune to status proc. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It still hurts him. It's just it's not enough. It stacks, but it's not enough to really hurt him before he can hurt you. But there's another reason why I bring up this boss actually. So, believe it or not, this design is reused from Dark Sector.
Yeah.
It's another enemy, which I'm appreciative because this, as much as everyone likes to rag on Dark Sector as it's such a bad game and it's
I
not
mean,
that
some
great and
people
this and
love it. It's not
but
perfect, but they love it.
I'm in that group where I enjoy the game for what it does. And like I said, I know that DE doesn't want to admit that that version of Dark Sector exists in Warframe's canon. It's like the prototype one probably does. But at the same time, I'm glad they brought this enemy back. Because, like I said, they're acknowledging an old design that really works. And I'm
What
so
I
happy.
like
I'm
is
like,
that
yay.
this is something I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
As time has gone on, DE has been getting like lots of messages, both in like donations, in top 10 chat things that they have during prime time, of
Mm-hmm.
people who honestly praise Dark Sector, and like a lot more than the negative people have. But like they praise it and they kind of let them know that you guys might have had like a bad time with that game, but do know there are people who genuinely love this game. And I think
Yes.
like ever since that had started happening, we've been seeing more and more of Dark Sector showing up in Warframe.
Exactly. Like the Zodiman, the original design for the Zero, the not Hayden Tenno,
Red Dead
just
Redemption 10.
yeah, but that's what I mean. And what I'm happy about is that since they brought in this the prelate, yes, that's his name, the prelate infested. This opens the door because DE has already brought back um this creature, which believe it or not is called Chroma. The original infested, I should say. It's called Chroma. Which
That
go ahead.
explains why when you go to the infested tab under your codex, Chroma is there.
Yeah, it's obviously
It's obviously a reference or a joke.
yes. But that said, so they brought back the chroma, or the design for the original chroma infested, which I'm happy for. But this also opens the door to another interesting concept, which is, are they going to bring back the other, infested types, like the infested stalker creature or the infested female howler monster, or I'm hoping as an Eris exclusive big boss monster, the Goliath. Like, you've seen that one.
I think so.
Yeah, the one with the Excalibur like head, but
Uh,
the rest of the body is very bulky.
that one.
Hold on. Hold on. I'll bring it up. Hold on.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that one becomes a boss for, if they do an open world infested Eris, I'm hoping that becomes a boss for the game. Because that would be fun to fight. This big, hulking, super infested. It's like, rah. That would be very fun.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So that was basically, excuse me. That was basically Nightwave Season 2. It brings up some interesting things, like the Infested is now getting more involved in Warframe's story. Kind of makes you wonder, where is um oh, hold on. 1 second. Sorry, had to sneeze. But it makes you wonder how much more DE is going to add from both the original concept of Warframe, or sorry, the original concept of Dark Sector, and how much they're going to bring from the Dark Sector we got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously they're bringing back the infested types from that game. I'm hoping they're also going to add in the Jackal vehicle, that walking tank, because come on, that's too fun not to do. Besides, it even has the Lotus insignia on the shields. Might as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am hoping DE adds more to this game. There's potential here. All right, and that covers Nightwave. Now on to
I still love that joke that they made during primetime about Arlo being a whip weapon. Like, I love it so much. Like, like, use the child as the handle and swing the whip, and then like the better version is, no, hold the whip and swing the child.
true rat flail technology.
Yeah.
But yeah. So on to our not so fun topic: pay to win.
I'll let you get started on this, but I will be right back.
Okay. So let's get this out here real quick. We are not the biggest people when it comes to like Call of Duty like games in general. So that's, Modern Warfare and Ghost Recon. We play a little. We are a fan of Nintendo and their games, mostly because Nintendo hasn't done much, negative. They've always been more focused on games than they have, we want monies. Well, not anymore, I would say. A little while ago, these new games have started to pop up as of late, and these have been, well, they're coming out to release date soon. And well, they're hit with greed. They're hit with a lot of greed and expecting players to fork up the cash for shit that really shouldn't be. So let's begin with Ghost Recon. So Ghost Recon, I think, is not Wildlands. It's another game I can't remember. Basically, it's a Ubisoft game, and as we all know, Ubisoft loves to add in Breakpoint. That's it. Sorry. We all know that Ubisoft loves to add a lot of oh god, it's in the back of my mind. They like to add in different editions of the game. So there's like, oh, here's this edition, but then there's the Ultra Edition, and then there's the Super Ultra Edition, which is adding incrementally very little content from the base games, or sorry, from the base game. And these additions are absolutely just disgusting, and it's insane. Like I'm looking right now at the Breakpoints editions, the special editions and everything. So they have the following. It's called Base Edition, Gold Edition, Ultimate Edition, and Wolves Collector's Edition. The Base Edition is the most bare bones, we don't give a shit about our fans uh, version, which is just the base game. The Gold Edition has uh, a year one pass. Oh, and welcome back. I'm talking about Breakpoints editions, like special, and this is just for you. Like, just look at this. Look at this disgustingness.
Oh, goody.
Let's look at this.
What? What am I looking at
Yes.
here?
So Ubisoft loves to release multiple editions of their games with
Oh.
very little in anything. So as you can see here, base game has just that, base game. Gold edition has 1 year pass and a steel book. Oh, and then you
Mm.
have the ultimate edition, which is the year one, the base game, the off-road pack, a bonus mission, and a survivor pack. Oh, isn't that a great deal? And then you have, even though the ultimate edition is it's in the name, ultimate, you have the Wolves Collector's Edition, which has the base game, the year pass, the off-road pack, the bonus missions, survivor pack, figurine, wolf dog tag, the soundtrack, and a steelbook case. Oh, isn't your money just flying out of your pockets?
Oh, does this mean none of the other ones will have background music?
Pretty much not. But this is why people are angry. Ubisoft is doing the same fucking thing again. This is what killed Call of Duty. Sorry, not Call. I wish. This is what killed Assassin's Creed. This bullshit is what killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm looking at this. The prices are disgusting. Standard edition. Oh no, sorry. Let me just I'm going to IGN.com just to see the prices. And of course, they're putting a positive spin on this because IGN are a bunch of sluts. Fuck you, IGN.
We're definitely not being monetized.
Oh, I don't give a shit. It's
Well,
as if I don't depend on this for money.
even
Oh my,
still, words like that will get us in trouble on Twitch.
oh my god! Look at this. It's disgusting. Look at this. So they're whoring this thing out from all possible angles. Okay, so the base edition for both PS4 and Xbox One is $60, which is the
Oh.
standard price nowadays. The Steel Gold Edition for PS4 and Xbox One is $100.
Mm.
The pre-order Ultimate Edition for Xbox and PS4 is $120.
What?
And lastly, the Wolf's Collector Edition is $190.
Uh, isn't this the one with the this? Is this the one with the Punisher in it?
I have no idea. I don't give a shit about this because of this crap.
Why?
and you know some idiot's gonna say like, oh, but it comes with a dog tag and a statue and the soundtrack. It's
Bitch,
like,
are you fucking kidding me? I have like 4 dog tags upstairs because they came from my grandparents.
you can get a dog tag anywhere.
You can get a dog tag from PetSmart, and they'll never
Yes,
know that it's for you.
exactly. So
Well,
first off,
now
this
they
dog
will.
tag, first off, this dog tag useless. You don't need it.
Nope.
Okay, someone will say, but the statue, that's already on Amazon. That's already being sold
You
elsewhere.
already know that people are gonna be selling that on eBay.
Exactly, for a lot more or a lot
Mm-hmm.
less. Okay, what about the soundtrack? Is downloading from YouTube not? Hmm? Oh,
Also,
but
people will
it
be saying that on eBay.
yes. Oh, but it'll come with these packs: the Survivor pack, the Off-Road pack, and a bonus mission, which will come out later. That's what they're expecting you. They're expecting you to be a moron, buy it now, so that way all this shit you get it now when they release it 6 months later for free.
Mm-hmm.
Some shit. Oh, but it comes with what else? Uh, confidential files. Like in-game things. Okay, fine, I'll give you that. Okay, what about this waterproof map, which I could probably download from some other site and print it off for a lot less.
Yeah.
Wow, such a steal. But the steel book, okay, fine, that's it. I'll give you that
Buddy,
too.
you do realize that they're like the Terminator Collection Edition, like the movie Terminator comes in a metal case. Star Wars
Yes,
comes in a metal case.
these aren't special. So out of all this, if we get rid of all the bullshit, right? You're left with two things, which is the confidential file and a steelbook. That's like $20. That should be $20. So that's 60 plus 20. That's $100 deal. I'm sorry, that's an $80 deal. That's it. But no, you're gonna be stupid and buy it day one because you need it. It's like, you stupid fucks.
Because you're so excited for it.
Exactly. The only reason why I want to pre-order Death Stranding for all the crazy shit is because I trust Kojima and I
Mm-hmm.
trust his games. And this fucker hasn't tried to gouge me. This can all bite again. This can all bite my metal ass, and then some. So fuck that. Okay, let's talk about the other insane microtransaction shit, which is Modern Warfare.
Ugh.
Yeah. So uh, let's get into it. So Modern Warfare is the retelling of the original um, Modern Warfare that came out. So you know that Activision is trying to whore this out. So like, oh, they loved it so much. Let's remake it. We'll get billions. No, you won't. You tried this already and no one bought it. No, sorry. You tried this before, but you hog-tied it to another game nobody cared about. This is insanity. So I'm just looking at this right now. Everything from Gfinity. And let's see. Oh god. Yeah, microtransactions and game boxes.
I don't remember where I heard it from, but somebody made the joke of now Skyrim that you can play on your microwave.
Ugh,
Graphics are awesome.
it's insanity. They're putting weapons and shit behind loot boxes, stronger weapons, which again are flying in the loot box laws that everyone is preparing to pass. You dumb shits. What they're doing is they're striking now with the most absolute greed they can humanly muster before the fucking laws pass. That's what they're doing. They're trying. How do I put it? They're um they're cashing in their chips. They're trying to cash in all the chips they can possibly muster before the casino owner comes in and smashes. Like I'm trying to find, yeah, more than cosmetic. And that's what pisses me off. Everyone's like, "Oh, it has loot boxes, but it's just cosmetics." It's like, you stupid. When they realize they can push cosmetics on you, they're gonna push more. They're gonna see just how far the envelope goes. Yeah, and it's hiding weapons behind random generation inside these loot boxes. This is disgusting, and people are already rising up against this game. They're flat out canceling pre-orders and not getting this game. And all I can say is, good on you. Don't be squeezed like fresh fruit. If they want to treat you like cattle, then fine, trample them. See how much they care then.
It only takes one cow to make a stampede. Keep that in mind.
Exactly.
Like, no, literally, you can have a stampede with literally just one cow just running around.
Exactly. Like I said, and before everyone, sorry. Oh wait, what?
What?
What? I'm
What?
sorry. Something just crossed my desk. What is this? MarketNet. Oh my god.
What?
They made 800 million off of fucking micro.
No!
And it's no, because apparently they've reached the ceiling. They've reached the point where they can't go any higher. They're gonna crash. Remember the crate depression
Mm-hmm.
with TF2?
Yep.
Yeah, expect Call of Duty depression very soon. You've hit this ceiling. Now you're gonna experience the fall. You dumb, dumb bastards. And this is the thing that these people don't ever understand, and it's economy 101. There's only so much revenue you could make before you're crushed by it.
Yep.
There's highs and there are lows, but if you keep going high, your lows are gonna. This is the shit they don't understand. They think that they can make all the money in the world, and the truth is you can't. You physically cannot make all the money in the world, even if you try. And they're so greedy that a game that's 2 million, oh, that's low sales. Motherfucker, you broke the millions. That's good. That means people want it, and that means if this sold 2 million, listen to your people, listen to your customers, and if they like it, implement what they like, and you'll get more. Oh, what a novel idea! It's just absolutely disgusting. I'm
Mm.
hoping this crashes and burn because the funny thing was all the internet losers out there got angry because the game was too realistic and it's too violent and it'll encourage people. It'll encourage men to do this, that, and it's like fuck off. It's a game.
I
They
remember
want
those old debates.
yeah, and then they were bitching about that all. It's it's so gonna do this, and there was talks about boycotting the game because of that. And obviously, it won't happen because, like I said, games don't make you violent. But naturally, as everyone knows, it wound up. Now this stupid boycott might happen because people don't want to be treated like cattle.
Yeah.
And of course, those idiots are gonna be like, "See, we were right. It was too violent," ignoring the fact that no, it was because they simply wanted a better game. You idiot. And then, of course, we have the mobile Mario Kart. Now, have you seen this as of late?
No.
Basically, Mario Kart's gone to iPhones.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's exactly. And from what I've been hearing, the microtransactions for that are insane. Like, what are you smoking? I'm trying to find the uh, where is it? Here we go. Fuck, I hate using Kotaku. Whatever. Uh, So basically, let's see here. Here we go. So according to the following, it says this. Simple touch. Okay, Mario Kart Tour is also a free-to-play game with a microtransaction-fueled gacha collection mechanic, and the game's options that reward. Sorry, the thing just scrolled up. Stop scrolling up, please. Thank you. Options rewards locked behind a paid monthly subscription. What? Then it's not fucking free to play. It's a monthly subscription. The hell are you talking about?
Why?
What else is here? Here we go. There's a the game launch version that lets you play all you want. The green gems, rubies doesn't seem to reward buying more. Instead, there's a $5 monthly gold pass subscription that grants players better rewards for completing races, including extra rubies, exclusive vehicles, equipment, and access to more challenging 200cc races. What? He's right about this. Gaming with all the bullshit. Sorry, mobile gaming without all the bullshit. This is disgusting. And I wouldn't be. Nintendo's
You're
been having a
roboting so
major.
hard.
Sorry, I just got off of Kotaku because of that. They have like 150 ads to play all at once.
Ooh.
Am I fine now? Or
Yeah.
am I still robot? Okay. But that's the thing. Nintendo's been having problems with online stuff for a bit now. We all remember that stupid, oh, don't pay for Nintendo's internet online shit. Well, you can't access your cloud saves. We remember that. And we remember just how bad that backlash was to the point where they had to stop it, I think. But this is what I mean. Nintendo is trying to cut their own niche into the games market, online games market, I should say, and it's not working for them. They're doing all the wrong things. They're trying to monetize everything they see in hopes that this will generate the ad revenues and funding they need to keep certain things open, and that's the problem. Nintendo is around and they're still able to survive and everything because, excuse me, be right back. I need to deal with something. 1 second.
Yeah. Sorry if I sound tired, people. I'm actually when I was sick before, it's already passed, but now I'm getting sick again. But it's not fun to talk right now.
I'm back. Told you I'd be back a second.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, this is the thing. Nintendo is around and is still successful because they focus on games. They focus on creating fun, interactive games, and people buy them. People buy them, money is brought back, yada, yada, yada. That's how it works. And Nintendo has proven that you don't need to be so greedy to stay afloat. All you need to do is make decent games and listen to your, and listen to your audience. But now they're trying to cut a niche into these mobile markets, and I believe that's because slacking on keeping Nintendo accountable. You know, they've allowed Nintendo to basically sit on the king's pile of gold coins, we'll say, and instead of someone being there constantly saying, "Yeah, remember the app," but people stop doing that. Now Nintendo's lost the fear of that app, and they're like, "Oh well, we can do no wrong. Our players will get whatever we want," and that's the mindset that needs to stop. You need to cut it at the root before it spreads.
Yeah.
And like I said, Nintendo's always had an issue innovating or reselling the same game, i.e., Mario and Pokemon. But they, like I said, they tried to make them fun, tried to make them interesting, and that's not a problem. And if anything, I think that's fine. But like I said, you need to start putting them accountable again. I'm hoping that no one's playing this game. I'm hoping it's not doing well, even if it's fun. So that way Nintendo gets the message of, okay, we should probably not do the monthly thing. Let's just let's just back off. That's what I'm hoping in a ways.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're trying to milk into the greed. Like I said, like I said, it's a greed wave that's hit for some weird reason, and hopefully it vanishes within the next few months. Yeah, but yes, mini tirade over. Let's move right along to our next topic, and Medieval getting another remake.
This is the first time hearing about a remake.
Well, it's happening. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Medieval, it's an old PS1 game in which you play as an undead knight whose
He's
goal
literally a
is to
skeleton.
yes, whose goal is to find and kill an evil. Again, point A to point B, very, very basic. It's it's not Shakespeare, but at the same time, yeah, it's not Shakespeare, but at the same time, it's enjoyable. It is okay.
The best playthrough for it is, I believe, SGB.
And
That's not me like brown nosing. Like, if you want, thank you, Bill, for the random comment about pine nuts. If you want a playthrough that tries to like do everything 100% and also kind of give you a reason why and show you how to do it right, SGB, definitely.
yes, but this is where the thing kind of comes in, and Medieval is really from that. It's from that point in the '90s where just say fuck it, create a character and make it fun.
Yeah.
And everyone, those were the good days, the good fun and back. Like I said, I like to call that period the video game renaissance, specifically because people were just making whatever came to mind, and a lot of times it was either hit or miss. But they were doing something. Nowadays we've got this mess. But there's a reason I say that it's getting another remake. Because Medieval actually had a PS2 remake. As we
That
all
is
know, it
not the
came from
sequel.
no.
The sequel
As
was
we
not
all,
that great.
the sequel was. I'll explain it in a second. But basically, the PS2 remake was basically just it was a remake of the original game on the PS2, and frankly, what was it called? Re-Evil Resur. I can't remember. I think it was just called Resurrection. Let me see. Yep, it was Resurrection. Basically, it was a very, oh jeez, it was very much a piece of its time. It was taking the very blocky polygonal um, design of the first game and just basically touching it up, making it stand out, improved the voice acting, gave the characters facial animations, touched up on a lot of the designs, small things like that. But overall, it was still the same game. If you go back to it now, it still holds up to this day, actually. It doesn't look, obviously, it's very low quality, as any game from the PS2 is, but it's not terrible, you know? It's
Yeah.
not, what's the best way to put it?
It has
It's,
it has aged well. Like, it has not
that's it.
aged poorly, it has aged well.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. And again, partially due to the art style and partially due to character designs. So naturally, Resurrection was an okay remake, and a lot of people don't mind it, and it's very expressive. They actually gave Daniel a Fortescue, however the how you pronounce his last name.
Fortescue.
Is it really just Fortescue?
Yep.
It's spelled Fortescue.
That's how it's spelled. Fortescue.
All right. Well, point is that Daniel, they made him very expressive. In the original PS1, they really couldn't do that. Obviously, it was just a block with a texture on it. But
Yeah.
for the remake, or for Resurrection, they gave his face actual expression. Like the jaw, or the upper jaw actually moves and shifts. The eye sockets actually uh, act like eyebrows. It actually they actually made him an expressive skeleton, and I think that works very well for Daniel because there's only so much humor you can extract from him mumbling everything, even though you understand what he's saying thanks to the subtitles. Again, obviously because there is no lower jaw, he can't speak.
I love the humor in the game, just in general.
Well, that's actually something that made me think. For if he's undead, right? If he's just a skeleton or a skeleton man, isn't it possible for him just to talk as a normal person? You know,
Nope.
I'm just saying.
He needs a
He's
jaw.
yeah, but at this yeah, but also he there's no there's no
He
tomorrow.
what?
I said, yeah, he needs a job, but he's also walking around even though he doesn't.
Yeah.
So you tell him, you try to explain me how that. Hmm. It's like very, very angry. Explain this to me, or change my mind. But anyway, like I said, despite having flaws, obviously, he's a very expressive character, and there's a lot you could do with Daniel. I don't know if there's a lot you could do with like the setting, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, it's very it's time locked, so to speak. So there's not much you could really do with the game setting. Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of people don't mind the PS4, the PS2 remake. It's all right. No one's bothered by it. Yet now it's getting yet another remake on the PS4. It's getting the Spyro and Crash treatment.
Oh,
Uh,
yay!
and I don't know. There's something about it that I love it, but at the same time, there's something about this remake that doesn't seem to fit for some reason. I think it's just because of the art style, or the fact that everything's so HDified that I think it's losing some of its creative charm.
Like, cartoony HD is probably the best version of HD, if we're completely honest here.
Yeah, but it seems like they're trying to add elements of realism to the design, and I think
That kind. No.
splashes of realism is distracting.
Yeah,
Again, it's like
like the live action Sonic movie.
exactly.
Eh.
That's exactly what I mean. It's a case of realism splashed in with a cartoony aesthetic, and it's standing out in the worst possible way,
Oh,
at least
good
in my opinion.
gods.
Yes.
I'm not sharing that because I don't want a bigger picture of that face.
But that's what I mean. There's something off here, and I get the feeling that it's something to do with the lighting and maybe some of the shading. Like it looks like they're trying to make Daniel look more like a real skeleton rather than just keep him as a cartoonish goofball.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about this that doesn't fit right. I'm also of the opinion that I don't remake the game since a remake already exists, but whatever. People could probably say the same thing about Crash and Spyro.
I mean, with Crash and Spyro, it was kind of a good thing that they remade those games. Because if they haven't, those names really would have just disappeared.
Am I fine now? Hello?
Yeah, you're fine. We heard you.
Okay. There was a moment where everything was crashing. I was like, oh no, I've destroyed the internet.
Yeah, but like, if they hadn't have made those remakes of Crash or Spyro, then their names literally would have just been like, oh, it's like Chutes and Ladders from like the old times. Names that like kids don't really give a shit about until now.
Exactly. Yes.
But like with
But
Medieval, they were already dying.
that's the thing. Medieval, the first game was all right. It had its comedy. It had its things. So that's fine. But then when the sequel came around, it basically killed the game.
Yeah.
Somehow, you killed the game by the sequel.
There is also a playthrough from SGP for Medieval 2, and they kind of explain that like it is a good game like mechanically. It's a lot harder to play through, but at the same time, nothing really makes sense in terms of like time period and story.
Well, what Medieval 2 is, excuse me, I am, my chair is today. Don't know
Yeah,
why.
can't be as bad as my
But,
chair.
well, this is what, so this is what Medieval 2 has an issue with, and that is, its setting is basically fish out of water for Daniel. He's, because he's dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for Daniel to go through time. He can't time travel. So naturally, the next best thing is that, well, because he's dead, he'll just get called back to Earth. And as we know, the Earth isn't stagnant. He'll get called back, and whatever time period he's in, well, and that's kind of the point I think Medieval 2 is trying to make. Daniel is very much a person from another period, another time.
And
He is
just like anything from old times, if there is an old tomb, you're going to take the corpse out of there when you shouldn't.
pretty much, but that's the thing. Daniel is, like I said, very much a skeleton out of time. He has no idea what's going on, and yet he kind of it shows in how he acts, how he responds, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
That and the fact that the game is also from its setting is Victorian London, which I think was a bad idea, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Uh, the reason why I say that is because, well, first off, not a lot of people will understand the subtext of Victorian London. Again, Matt is to go back to the SGB playthrough. Matt dissects the villain of the game quite well, which is basically the only reason why he's villainous is because in this time period, those who spoke with a Cockney accent or were low class, as he was, were always barred from really rising up in the world. And so he brings up an army of the undead specifically because he wants that power. He's made a villain because of the time period in society. That's not a bad
Mm-hmm.
idea on paper. But the problem is that without Matt's explanation of it, you would be hard pressed to understand why is he a villain or why is he doing this. That and the other point to mention is that the game feels like it's out of time with itself. Like there are elements that are clearly, yes, this is Victorian London. All right, not a bit. This is Victorian London. Okay, I understand that. But then you have moments where it's out of time with itself. Like suddenly you'll be in an area that feels like it was ripped out of the original game or that sort of thing.
Yep.
And again, this is the flaw with Medieval 2. It just tried and failed to understand what made the first game so interesting. That and apparently that glitch Matt showed off with the chalices. Yes, for those of you who don't know, apparently some coder failed to code in the endings properly. So if you get everything 100%, you lose the game and you get the bad ending.
Yep.
When in reality it was supposed to be the other way around. So this is the one game where you can't 100% or you will be punished for it. weird, isn't it?
Yep.
But like I said, and this is the thing I'm is the PS4 remake going to have what's the word? Is the PS4 remake is the PS4 remake going to I've actually lost my train of thought. Shit. Hold on. I'm trying to get it back.
Happens.
It was fuck. Ah. Is the PS4 remake going to I guess the question or the approach is how the PS4 remake is things going forward. Is it just going to be the first game and nothing else, or is it going to be both games?
Mm.
I want to say it's not. I truly believe that the I think it's just going to be one game, and that'll be the end of it. Mostly because the sequel is viewed with such contempt, and for good reason, obviously. You know, it's not a very it's not a fun game to begin with, and even its story is kind of like me.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you know, you've got I don't know, maybe this kind of goes back to what I've mentioned before, at least with the Spiral remakes and everything. And the question becomes: are they going to make more games based off of these? Um, oh my god, are they going to make more games based off of the success that was um, the remakes? Like actually continuing, um, actually continuing. Oh my god,
Old series and all that shit.
exactly. Yeah,
This is not your day.
this is not my moment.
Nope.
It's like everything in the universe is like conspiring right now to make sure I look like a complete idiot. And it's succeeding. It's succeeding in its entirety. Ugh, dear. Personally, I hope that like I said, I hope these remakes inspire a new set of games. Because the potential is there. It just I guess the best way to putting it is um, just going for it.
Yeah.
It just kind of comes again. We've seen that all these games have made money. Obviously, the Spyro remake, the Crash remake. My God, those so gangbusters.
Especially the Spiral remake. Holy shit.
And for obvious reasons, people really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hard cut elsewhere. But yes. So
Okay, no
I'm
joke. I
curious to
was
see what you
suddenly
think.
about to be very angry.
About what?
I heard two yips thinking that the dogs were back already when they
Oh.
left yesterday.
Oh.
I was going to be so mad. We were all so happy that they left,
Funny.
and then they're
Funny for
suddenly
me.
back literally the next day. No, don't pull this shit on me now. No. You fuckers come back on Sunday.
All right, all right. But yeah, I guess the end of it is the medieval remake looks interesting. It has its issues, but let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
Uh, and also, our hope is that obviously Spyro, Crash, these games actually get more games in their original trilogy, and not so much redoing the games that came after. Because again, dead end after that.
Yeah.
Unless you want to remake freaking Skylanders.
No.
Figured as much. Yeah, but yeah. So our last topic here is more of a discussion piece, really, and that is have fandoms become something to be ashamed of admitting to being a part? Could have worded that better.
All about the
So,
fandoms, a dreaded F word.
no, the other F word.
No, the other F word.
So, what do you think?
It depends on the fandom, really.
Okay.
It there are some fandoms that are really, really nice. Like they're a very nice community that you want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the ones that get the spotlight and they're the bane of all existence. And they're the
Okay.
ones that you get really worried about just mentioning.
No, I think they're more of the ones that you hear. I think they're more of the ones that you hear the most because, again, the spotlight is on them.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
To be
Yes, I agree
clear, like
completely.
if you're there are fandoms that are very nice. There are. Uh just the ones that always seem to get the spotlight, the ones that you always hear about being absolutely terrible, those are the ones that people know of the most, and all the good ones are just shoved out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking sucks.
I don't like
Uh,
any of
yeah.
Well,
I
that's the.
I
Go ahead.
I don't think I'm a part of any fandom, or if I am a part of a fandom without me knowing, I don't know. Um, the Godzilla fandom, I want to say it's really nice, but it's technically not.
Of course.
Because a majority of it is there's like a tiny part of it now that only exists to completely demolish the one where he's in New York, the 1998 version.
Of course.
And like the fandom has already moved past that. Like we've all agreed it's not a Godzilla film, but it is a good film. And this other group is just no, it's a terrible film. You're a terrible person for liking it, that kind of thing.
No, it's the way I see it's a
Mm-hmm.
good.
You're cutting out again.
I said it's a good monster movie.
Yes.
That's it.
Like as great as the new Godzilla stuff is, the 1998 version is the one that's being modeled over and over and over again in Gmod, in Ark Survival Evolved, even. It's the one being referenced the most. It's the one whose sound effect is being used the most. So,
Well, it's kind of an interesting game I like to play. If this character was named something else, removed from the movie, or the movie was named something else, would it still suck?
no.
Exactly. You can't say that for. I think the only. Excuse me. I think the only reason the Godzilla movie, the 1998,
Yeah, 1998.
okay, 98 Godzilla movie failed was because, well, again, it was given the name Godzilla. If it was called anything,
Yeah.
it's called a
Apparently,
big ass
the.
lizard attacks New York.
Apparently, Riot says it was like the creator of Godzilla. It's not the creator of Godzilla. It's just somebody who works at Toho. Walked
Mhm.
out halfway through the 1998 movie. That's
It's
fine. That is fine. Not everybody likes these movies. I
true.
absolutely adore this movie. Does that make me an evil SJW person? No.
No,
I
she
grew up
likes it. She
watching the
doesn't
movie.
attack people.
Yeah. I grew up watching the movie. It's the only way that a majority of people, literally, that movie is the only way anyone will have known that Godzilla even fucking exists.
But
Like,
here's
I.
the,
Go ahead.
what I was gonna say is here's the weird thing for me. One of the elementary schools I went to back in Puerto Rico, right? And I think I'm actually trying to remember. but oh god, I remember that this place was like, I think it was a school built into a mall. Like the mall was active and the school was above it. Something weird like that.
Oh,
I
believe
know,
me.
very weird.
You know that annoying Christian vegetable show, VeggieTales?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, their studio is built into a mall.
Gee.
It's not weird at all. It's normal.
Well, but yeah, okay. A studio built into a school though for elementary kids.
Mm.
Yeah, marketing. But anyway, what I remember this very clear. Uh, we had this area that was like open to the sky, but it was like sealed off. Like we were high above the ground, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was pretty shitty. There was a few toys, there was a few things. Kids were bring their own stuff. And there was an active Godzilla sort of love around there. And I don't mean for the 1998 movie. This was before that. I mean like early Godzilla stuff. Like we're talking like things straight from Japan. And I remember these kids bringing all these, the Godzilla toys in particular, the ones that just have the arms and the legs moving, nothing else.
It's the ones with like the wide open, gaping mouths and wide eyes, just screaming.
Yeah, exactly. Those toys.
Those knockoff toys, yeah, those are the only things I remember.
Well, they brought these all the time. They always played with them, and I remember all of them. Not all of them were fighting about who should be who could pick up the best, coolest looking one, and Godzilla was
Yeah.
always like the one that wasn't always picked because I don't know, but I always found myself leaning to Ghidorah because I liked the design. I liked this three-headed dragon with these golden wings and everything. I was like, I always liked it, and for some reason, I was always viewed as because for some reason Ghidorah wasn't the one that was picked. He was like right next to Godzilla, the one that wasn't always picked. It always looked at me weird when I would pick it up and play with it. I'd be like, what is wrong with this kid? It was so weird. But that's how it got introduced. And then my father, who watched, I believe, the originals with his dad, rented a few Godzilla movies for us, and I remember watching, enjoying them, even
Yeah.
when Godzilla wasn't on screen. And that's saying something. But anyway. And, to me, fandom is it's difficult to describe. I think that as of late, fandom has drifted from what it should be. It's no longer coming together enjoying what they like. It's more of a community of it's the community that's built around the thing people like. And then within it there are subdivisions of fans of something that enjoy this aspect of the show or whatever media, and then there are the others.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it. Like, okay, let's use a few shitty shows or shows that appeal to one set of group. So we've got, let's take the new Shiro show for example. Put it over
Mm.
there, or as everyone likes to call it, the Tumblr Diaries. For good reason. I've said it before. That show is absolutely dreadful. There's nothing redeeming about it. The writing is atrocious.
Personally, the shows that have been showing up the most that I actually don't care for is The Punisher and obviously The Walking Dead. I don't like The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead's been dead for years.
Literally.
It's become the thing that it has. It's actually kind of funny. No, but what I want to say is that well, like I said, we'll use the Shiro show as an example. There are people, and I've heard this from everyone that I've talked to, right? Everybody who's had to deal with them, and the consensus is all the same. They're insane.
Yep.
And okay, we all know we all understand the shipping thing,
Yeah.
right?
Ugh.
For some arbitrarily strange reason, when it came to like the shipping for that show, there are like these absolutely violent sociopaths when it comes to certain ships, and it's weird. it's like fighting ideologies. Except we're fighting for the ideology of who, not what invisible man we should pray to in the sky. It's weird. It's really, like I said, it was really fucking weird. And, hold on. Excuse me. And that's the thing. I think that fandoms have drifted from what they should be. Now it's become a war because I like this character or I think the show should be this and that, 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 that. It stopped being about people enjoying it and making fan-based things and more about people wanting to influence the show and make it what they want. If that makes any sense. Did I cut out again?
Oh no, I heard you.
Oh, okay. It said everything got obnoxiously.
Sorry. It's just fandoms are meant to be a community of people who enjoy something, not an arena bloodbath for who is right,
Exactly.
what theory is the one you're going to latch onto, and what person you need to kick ass on, like whose ass you need to kick for not agreeing.
Well, another perfect example would be using Voltron, the
Yeah.
recent one, as an example.
Oh,
As we all know,
because of that one thing about the blackmail.
yes.
Okay, I just spoiled everything. Just go ahead.
Yes, but the point I'm making here is that the fandom has suddenly shifted from, like I said, enjoying fan art or fan thing, or AUs, anything of that nature,
Hmm.
which I don't mind. I actually encourage people to make their own original alternate reality with the characters if it's interesting and if it's creative, like a hypothetical saying, like what if this character was actually an alien, or the characters were this, or the universe with that, that kind of shit. I don't mind. I actually encourage that because it flexes someone's creative muscles. I like that. But it stopped being about that and trying to make what they want the show into its canon. So, as everyone probably knows, a little while, not even a little, some time ago, a group of fans were invited to, what was it, the studio or an
Yeah,
animation studio?
they were invited to the studio.
Okay, so they were invited to the studio Voltron, and they got to get a tour, look around everything, yada yada yada. Someone, I don't think they ever found out who it was. It's just someone took photos of, what was it, stills of the show?
I don't know.
It was still script, something important, something vital to the show.
Yeah,
And
that
then
something you could blackmail with.
exactly. So they leave. Then I think it was either Twitter or Tumblr. I can't remember which. They say they have this. Hmm?
I think it was Twitter.
Okay, they say they have this and everything, and it's like it wasn't them trying to blackmail them then. It was more like, oh, hey, we've got all this exclusive stuff, yada yada yada. Just kind of gloating about it. And then I think it was either the studio or someone within the studio, one or the other, right? They
Hmm.
reach out to them and they're like, yeah, hey, could you please delete those or not share them or whatever? We could all get in trouble for this, yada yada yada. And rather than doing the decent human thing, right? This person decides, okay, we'll do that on this condition. You make our ship canon to the show.
Ugh.
Exactly. Just cringe. I don't even know what happened because of that. I don't know if they leaked the stuff and they said fuck it, or something else happened. It's been a while since I've seen that or read that article. But the point still stands. This is what I mean. Fandom has shifted away from being this to trying to make what you perceive it to be, trying to turn the show, book, this movie, this anything into what you want it to be, rather than what's best for everyone or what everyone enjoys.
Yeah, make it all about yourself and your interests, completely disregarding what it actually is. Oh
Exactly.
boy. The one
Or
thing I
trying
don't
to.
like the one thing I don't like about certain parts of the fandom, like people can do what the hell they want as long as it doesn't hurt other people. But the one part of fandoms that I just don't seem to understand or like is when they can't accept when something is canon and they go with their own AU from then on. Like there was I don't remember what the show was or what the game was or whatever the hell it was, but it had been stated 100% canon that these two characters loved each other and they only loved each other. And it wasn't like a forced on thing. It was like genuine. It was really nice. And artists decided, you know what? No, we're not going to go with that. So they paired one character with somebody of their own gender and paired the other character with someone of their own gender. Or another AU, they made them complicated with each other, made them hate being together, when that's not true at all. And like another AU is they change their genders. Like people just can't accept that these things can actually happen. Like good things can actually happen from these original pairings, these canon pairings.
Yes. And that's
I
something
don't understand why oh, bless you. I don't understand why people have to change genders or change the relationship type all the damn time.
Well, that's something again, and this kind of one of the other games I tend to play a lot, and that is, well, I agree completely, and that's the thing. I don't mind when people experiment with, what would. Oh, I don't know why I'm tired. I just am.
I literally yawned right before you did.
Jesus. But that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here is that yeah, exactly. I don't agree or okay.
I think that was a candle. I was just setting my mug down. I didn't think I was reaching that far. Carry on.
Okay, that's it's like you're just like, oh, okay. But anyway, I agree. I hate when people do this because they have such a moment, and instead, this is what I call lazy creatism.
Yeah.
And that is when someone takes an established character, changes one aspect about them, and yet they continue as if like
It's
nothing
like
else changes.
it's like that mass shipping flood that came through when it came to like Markiplier and Yami Mash, then Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and then like Cryotic and Pewds. I hate PewDiePie, by the way. And then like the Minecrafters got hit with it, like Sky Does Minecraft and all of his friends, and people actually tried to push these ships on each other. And then nowadays there is a fandom that I regret being a part of, just because like the idea of the ship is cute. Where every time these two YouTubers post a video, people just explode like, "Oh my gosh, this is like a subtle message of, hey, I actually love this character. I actually love this guy." No, that dude is married, and that dude over there is not interested. What the hell? Like, if anything, pair the other dude with his cars, because he genuinely loves them.
Yes.
And it's just,
that's what it is.
I don't like that. I don't understand why people do these things. I mean, I kind of understand. I used to be one of these people, but I don't push on people.
But this is what I'm trying to explain here. Again, to go the whole idea of very like I said, change. Oh, for fuck's sake! I really gotta learn to keep this on vibrate more. But
Put on vibrate, let it sit on your lap.
No. But no. But what I'm saying here is that the again, to go back to what I was saying, the idea of just changing one aspect of a character and keeping that character completely identical to what they were before is, to me, the most lazy and uncreative thing I think I've ever seen. A perfect example of this is typically like, oh, what would happen if, let's pick a random character. Okay, Spyro was a girl. Okay, what changes? Absolutely nothing. So what's the
Yeah,
point? What was the point of this change then?
what's the point there? Representation. There's Cinder. And Cinder was a
I don't care about.
badass.
And then they changed Cinder to be a dude. And thing,
My
there was
when it, when it comes to Spyro, my least like the most despised pairing I can think of is Ember and Spyro, because Ember was the dragoness that every time you talk to her, all she would ever talk about is fantasizing a wedding between herself and Spyro. And
Mhm.
Spyro doesn't feel anything for her except for friendship, but she doesn't care. But then, like, you get the Legend of Spyro trilogy where you have an equal, a female dragon who doesn't like Spyro in that way. Like, she cares about him as a friend, and later down the line, yeah, she falls in love with him, but she worked for it. And people don't
Exactly.
like Cinder because of that, and they prefer Amber, who pushes herself on people. Just, ugh.
But that's my point. This is the problem we're facing now with fandom and everything surrounding it, and that is people are pushing for just stupid shit. They're like, "Oh, we need representation for this. We need that. We need this." And I'm sitting here, and my only thought is, how does this affect the story? How does this change the setting? How does any of what you're suggesting actually matter in universe? If nothing changes, if the character remains stagnant, even with these changes, then you've achieved nothing. Then this doesn't need to exist. The only time I say that changing characters around or coming up with something when you're genuinely trying to create something new for the sake of something new. Example being like a hypothetical AU. What if Anakin never fell to the dark? Which actually is a comic. It's
Uh,
called Going Against Destiny.
Another great AU, if we're going with comics, is, I think I've mentioned this every time we talk about Batman, is the one where Bruce is the one that gets killed. His dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes the Joker. Like, you're taking
Yes,
characters that already exist, and you are switching the roles. That's not something new, but you're doing it in such a way that it almost feels like the original never existed. Like, this is what it was supposed to be, and it's
exactly.
fantastic.
It works extremely well because when this isn't just a swapping, this is like pure ripple effect. Okay, Bruce Wayne never didn't survive the night. He was the one who was shot, and that
Mhm.
leads a ripple effect. His mother can't bear the fact that her only son is dead, so she loses her mind and becomes the Joker. His father is so wrapped with grief and disgust for him not being strong enough that he bulks up and he tries to be different, basically. But he still adopts the Batman style, the costume and everything. But the way he goes about things is so grossly different that this feels like a completely new
Mhm. Mhm. But
person, and it works
at least he still follows the guidelines of Batman. Like,
roughly.
yeah, roughly. But the thing with Batman is when he is fighting all these people that, all of his enemies have some sort of mental instability, some sort of mental problem. In the comics, Batman is trying to help these people. Like, yeah, he beats them up, but that's just because he kind of has to half the time for his own safety.
Yes,
But he never sends them to prison. He sends them to an asylum where they can get help. He encourages them to get better, and he doesn't fault them for what they do. Joker,
exactly.
especially, he's always trying to save Joker, and he's always trying to save Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn always falls back to her original thing, but it's not her fault.
She
Uh,
struggles. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but with this alternate universe, his dad still pretty much does the same thing. Like, his wife is the Joker. Any husband would want to help her. Like, any husband would want to help their wife if they're going through something like that.
Exactly.
Even if
and,
it means you guys become mortal enemies.
Exactly. And here's a perfect example wants to help the people he fights, and how honestly fighting against these people is kind of like, again, it's for his own self-defense more so than it is I want to hurt people,
Yeah.
basically. And that is there's a moment, the Batman move, one of the Batman moves, beneath the Red Hood, right?
Yeah.
And in it, Batman recruits Jason Todd and he's a street urchin, the type who's been raised around um, the streets all his life, whose life is gonna go one way, and that is, prison or death. But he gives the kid a second chance. He comes in, he saves him, yada yada yada. That's good. What winds up happening is that he still has that street thug mentality in his mind. He still believes that he needs to hurt people so they won't hurt anyone else. And what's interesting is that during a moment, or a fight, the kid goes too far. Jason winds up going too far, and he puts a thug through a door. Right, that alone should have left him immobilized. But immediately he goes in and he breaks his collarbone, like completely shatters it, and almost puts the guy into shock. Almost kills him. And
Yeah.
Batman scolds him about it, even says, "We don't do this sort of thing." The kid actually says, so, basically mocks him and says, "What should I have done? Prop up some pillows?" And Batman even says, "No, we incapacitate. We don't mutilate." That's a good point. Honestly, when you think about it, that really is. He incapacitates. Yeah, he'll break a bone or two here and there, but bones can be mended and set. He doesn't do anything that leaves them horribly crippled for the rest of their lives. He doesn't shatter their knees to the point where they can't move
Yeah.
anymore. And like I said, that's kind of the point. And that's what makes Batman such an interesting character, at least from the view of the comics. Then you have, and going back to these whole lazy ass AU problems. Like I said, this is what irks me about it. They only change one superficial thing and they keep the character as is, and it just leads to the most boring or uninteresting um, stories out there. Like I flat out do not care about, like they'll say, "Oh, this character is like this, and his life became full of prejudice," and da, da, da. It's like, but how does that change anything?
The most
That's not a
annoying
hero.
AU is the coffee shop AU, because it's everywhere.
I don't think I know about that.
It is one that's used so much in shipping. Like, this is how the characters met. They meet at a coffee shop. Yeah, I literally just read 16 other stories that did the exact same fucking thing. And then I read it and go, yeah, this is literally word for word the exact same fucking thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if they copied each other.
Pretty much. You know about my monster characters, the monster Minecrafters.
Yeah.
They're still around, by the way. I just haven't drawn them for shit.
Well, obviously, it's fine.
But, like, they are the prime example of a change and, like, an alternate, I guess you'd say an alternate universe to something that already exists.
Yes.
And even them alone, they have their own internal universe. I need to draw them more just to get them out there.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you've. Even though they're based
What is
around
that? What is that music?
that is an ice cream truck just driving by.
Ice cream!
That is the sound of hell out there.
Oh,
It's gonna get
God.
worse because it's not even near my house.
Carry on,
You
though.
can hear
We'll
it.
try to
It's
ignore it.
It's incrementally getting louder. Oh no. Well, now y'all know. Oh, but like I said, this is the problem. It's been an issue basically where, like I said, people will just take something that already exists and not even make it different. They won't even change aspects about it to make it anywhere unique or interesting or potent, basically. Like, okay, here's a perfect example. I've mentioned this before, my remake project. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Might as well mention it here. For those of you who don't know, I am currently writing a total Destiny remake, a complete retelling of Destiny 1, all of it. It's a completely different story using Destiny, the Destiny universe, basically, or the Destiny as a setting.
Yeah.
All right. This whole thing, I have put hours of work, research, character understanding, just a lot of crazy shit, basically, in order to gather up everything and make this story work as its own thing while being in tune with Destiny, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. Already, as I've announced this, already begun to attack me over this.
Wow.
And it's insane. Like, we're talking, I haven't even officially announced it. I've kind of like semi-announced it to some people and around some places, right?
Mhm.
And already I've gotten messages saying, you're wrong because this, and this isn't how this is, and this is going to be terrible, and and crazy shit like that. So that was the first thing, right?
Yeah.
Immediately, I even put it that this is a retelling slash original universe slash whatever you want to call it. This has nothing to do with the main games or anything. I am just taking aspects of them and re-envisioning them. That's it. I don't plan to make this canon. I don't plan to try and make this my own canon or whatever. This is just for my sake and my sake alone. And if anyone else enjoys it, awesome. That's it. I'm not trying to influence Bungie. I'm not trying to do anything. Because frankly, I don't care to. However, almost immediately, I've already begun to kind of put up character bios, written small things, planning on maybe doing pictures. I don't know. It's still up there, basically. And here's the crazy shit, right? So my main protagonist is Morgan. I've actually based his design around my father. So black hair, lightish skin, slightly tan, uh, and a beard and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, I was attacked by someone who called me sexist and said I should make Morgan a black guy.
What the fuck?
I immediately asked, okay, but what does his race have to do with anything? Like, I even asked, okay, how is changing his race gonna affect the story anyway? And then this person begins to give me all these not even these ideas of, have him grow up in this oppressed section of the town and make him be like this and had to deal with race. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not writing a civil rights fan fiction. This literally has nothing to do with the character I'm doing or the story I'm writing.
That reminds me of somebody suggesting an idea for Skyrim to add a bit more racism.
But that's my point.
And my response to that was, okay, what is that going to do for like the little kid that already lives in a world full of racism playing a game that's got even more of it?
Exactly. And
What's the benefit? What's the use?
that's exactly my point. I was just sitting there like, how does this change the story? How does this improve the character? And all they could do was come up with a bunch of like civil rights, no, sorry, not even like just insane political BS and talking points to the point where it's like, no, this isn't happening. The character's gender and race stays the same, and that's the end of it. If you don't like it, that's fine. You have the right to not like it, but don't come to me and start attacking me just because I won't conform to what you want. That's not how it works here. And it's just, like I said, it just drove me up a wall. And I know for a fact this is only going to get worse.
I like that
They're going to
we're
start.
talking about this while there's like there's an ice cream man approaching.
I know it's absurd. It really is. But like I said, it's just insanity. But this isn't deterring me from continuing my work. I'm still gonna do this project the way I want to. If people
Yeah.
have an issue with it and have legitimate issues with what I'm doing, i.e., I don't know if I hypothetically, I'm not saying I would, throwing it out there. Like, let's say for the sake of drama, an extremely abusive husband into the story and how Morgan saves her, yada yada yada, right?
Yeah.
If I had that in, and then people are like, okay, that's a bit too much. Maybe not add that in. It doesn't, it's tasteless or whatever. That'd be like, okay, yeah, I guess that's too much.
Also,
But that's it.
when it comes to like these AUs, you got to go with what feels comfortable and what feels right to you. Uh, by the way, like the Kaiju Guardians have been showing up on screen.
Mm.
When I made these guys, when I first made them, they were all Godzilla monsters. And I didn't like it because it mostly meant that I was just taking something that already existed and just reusing it. Wasn't being very creative. That and the Godzilla fandom tried to kill me for it. It's like, dear gods, every 5 messages was something about it. So
Exactly.
scrap that. I decided, you know what? No, I'm just gonna make my own thing. Came up with my own lore, came up with my own story. These guys, they used to be cookie cutters of who they're originally based on. Didn't like that either. Scrapped it and just made my own thing. Just went, you know what? Fuck it. This is my story. If somebody doesn't like it, then that's their problem.
Exactly.
And their original story did not make sense at all. And Tobias, his original, what the fuck?
That's me.
Tobias's original story was a lot darker than it already is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
his current story is he's the rebel. He does not want to be a monster. He does not want to be a weapon. So he resists and resists. This gets him tortured, abused, but nothing too extreme. In his old story, there was one moment that I was not comfortable with that he went through, and I scrapped it very quickly. And it was like the origin of some of the scars on his back.
Exactly. And like I said, this is what these AUs tend to be. You focus on what it isn't just what you enjoy, but also what makes sense for whatever fandom you're part of.
Yeah.
Taking aspects of it, but also making your own original stuff. But that said, it will fail. Not really fail, but it's like, how do I put it? But at the same time, you have to be willing to meet halfway through, I guess. No, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. But
You have to keep
that's
an open mind when you make this stuff. Because
yes, and keep. Go ahead.
you're going to have people who disagree. Like, to this day, I still have people who disagree with my designs. I have very few people. Hi, Broski. These guys are actually very old. I've had these guys since 2012.
Yes.
Yeah. Alex Typhoon, which is Markiplier's Kaiju Guardian, he has his own blog. I have not touched it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten some backlash for character designs of mine. And these guys have their own story. They have their own interests, their own names, their own skills and abilities. Their AUs still use their own selves, but there's something different. Like Nightmare at Captain Toby's, if you remember that one. That
Oh
was
yeah.
probably my shining moment until we realized that making a video game costs a shit ton of money.
No, it isn't just it costs a lot of money. It's also
It's also what?
it's not just that it costs money, but everything can go wrong so fast.
Yeah. Not only that, not just that one scare with the models for Gmod. Sometimes, even today, I will go back to those models and look through the comments, and everybody hates them. Well, a majority of people hate them because it's based off of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm.
While the story is inspired by it, the models that were made, they're amazing. I love the models. They're just not what they were meant to be. Like, it's easier to make them look like Five Nights at Freddy's models.
Yes.
So that's pretty much where people get that idea.
And this was before, like, some people could make really good cartoon models. Keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. I want to try those guys again. Just, now, there was such a story going on with that AU. Like, if I wanted to, I could make a comic series about it if I had like the strength to do it.
Mhm.
But the Kaiju Guardians, at least for our group, is like the best example of a fan taking something that already exists and running with it and making something completely new.
Yes. But then you could also have an issue.
Have an issue?
What?
Have a what?
But there's also then you have a similar where it's taking something too far in a different direction, getting the source, and that is what happened with DMC, Devil May Cry.
Uh,
You know that one
mm-hmm.
with the infamous "fuck you, no fuck you" scene. That is an example of them taking a character completely and utterly trying to make something new with. In fact, no. Keep talking. I'm going to show you what they originally wanted that to look like, and you're going to see something interesting.
I don't
Just
really
keep
know if
going.
there's much else to talk about, really. I've had these guys since 2012, and I've been wanting for a very long time to make like a Kaiju Guardian 101 video or stream, whatever, for each and every Kaiju Guardian, just like explaining them a bit more. But each character, the only thing they share about like the YouTuber or Minecrafter they're based on is appearance, just base appearance. Oop, not my mic. Like,
Well, I think you could make something like a still images video kind of thing.
that's what I was thinking. I have so much fan art. Like, this is something that like I am still wrapping my head around. I have fan art of these guys, specifically Tobias and Alex. And it blows my mind every time I look through my files, because I like to save fan art for myself, because I know that like there might come a day where this person will delete it because they don't like it. But I love it. I praise it to high heaven.
You keep it because you like to remember, basically.
Yeah, but
Okay, here
there's a downside for this fan art. Like, as soon as somebody starts doing that, I stop drawing.
Yes. Okay, here we go. So this is what this was what they originally wanted to do. Like, this was the character designs they were going with.
What the ew?
Yeah, crazy, isn't
Ew,
it?
ew, ew.
I like the Ron Perlman looking one with the beard over to the right.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean. They wanted to make their Dante a bit more hardened, a bit more serious. But then they were being told, no, make something different, make something different, and wound up with emo. No, sorry, not emo. Punk kid, and it just didn't work out. And this is an example of just going in the wrong direction, and then at the last minute try to salvage the character and make it what he used to be, and it just doesn't work. And this
Yeah.
is the problem. This is the opposite side of the coin. When you take something and you make it too different, and it becomes a completely different beast, even to the point where you look at it and think to yourself, I should probably have made my own thing instead of just trying to make something based around this AU, or this fandom. That's the best way I can.
What?
I forgot. Before I continue, I would like to um Devil May Cry 5, right? You want to know how they made the cutscenes? Like how they choreographed them?
How?
You're gonna.
You should see the mocap for King Ghidorah, by the way. What the fuck?
Yes, They built little sets. They took an action figure for like when they're like in the air or whatever, and just had them fly around, and then superimpose some guy against a green screen. It's so silly.
There's a video I sent Liam a long time ago, based off of the TV show Berserk. And it says to you, like, how does that new season come out? It shows like the creator of Berserk is instead playing with action figures, and like Guts is riding on a rainbow unicorn while chasing a Digimon.
That's what I love about mocap or something. They just take the piss out of it. They're like, "Can we use this action figure for scenes?" Yes,
Yeah,
do
but
it.
like King Ghidorah's, like the new King Ghidorah's mocap for the movie is literally 3 dudes making facial expressions. It's almost as amusing as like the mocap for the Monster House and Smog.
Yeah,
Because the mocap for Monster House was literally the voice actors, like the lady who plays like the lady in the movie crawling around screaming.
But that's what I love. Again, just these incredibly, just that's what I love. But like I said, my point. There are times where it's entirely possible for you to go too far and make something that um it just doesn't work. Basically, it winds up. Oh God, it winds up becoming its own beast. Basically, like I guess the best way to put it would be it mutates. It can't control anymore. To the point where you're just kind of sitting there like, why did I bother to begin?
That's what happened with like the Kaiju Guardians when they first started out. Like even after I changed their design from Godzilla Kaiju to what they are now, I was always stuck in this rut where I would want to do something. It was always Toby that caused it. That's the funny thing. It was always Tobias that caused the bullshit. And I wanted him to be a bit more alive. I wanted him to have more to his character, not be cookie cutter. So I would like start thinking like,
wrong with that.
Yeah, but I would start to make something for him. I'd go, wait, no, this is not how Captain Sparkles acts. I have to stick with this. And I would do that, and I would just get more and more depressed. And he went, you know what? No. We're done with that. We're not doing that anymore. And I stripped away the idea that he needed to be shackled to whatever Captain Sparkles does or whatever he's interested in. And I kept some things that kept him as like a fleshed out character. Tobias speaks with a Russian accent, first and foremost. Like literally that very deep old, like that old, very deep Russian accent that you hear during the Cold War. Like that's how he even speaks like that. He'll call somebody comrade. His favorite food is peaches and watermelon and salmon, especially fish. He likes eating jellyfish because it's like a drug addiction to him. It makes him high. He does not like pumpkins. He does not really care for pears either or grapes, but he loves peaches. To the point where Bill and I will joke about it.
But here's the thing I want to say. Again, to go fandom point, I suppose. Fandom has become something that honestly a lot of people are ashamed to admit that they're a part of, and that's largely because fandoms wind up becoming these very toxic, or they want to control every aspect of the thing.
Fandom has become a word or a community that you kind of dread saying, or that you dread realizing you're being a part of, or admitting that you are a part of.
Exactly.
It's a word that you struggle to use as an explanation or a description.
Exactly. And to add another, it even goes further to say, like, okay, so we know that people make fan fictions, right? And the
Yeah.
stereotypical one is, let's create a Mary Sue who can do no wrong and destroy everything, aka Rey from Star Wars. I'm not letting that go, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Just
You
she's the embodiment of
you know
everything
what's great?
wrong. Mm.
The Moldy Tangerine's son posted a picture of him and his family. Well, no, sorry, it was his wife posted a picture of a family, and like the little kid was dressed as a stormtrooper, and Mark Hamill himself commented on it. And like
Nice.
the tag on the image was "May the Force be with you," and he says, "I'm sorry, but you spelled fraud wrong."
Oh, you fuckers. Can't we have fun anymore? Can we not?
Not if it belongs to the Moldy Tangerine.
No, there's more to it. And I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about like posted something else. Remember, okay, so as we know, Star Wars was actually, wait, where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna find this image. I'm gonna fucking find it because this,
What?
I can't do it justice.
Oh no.
Oh, so that's how you spell hammer. Hamill. It's with 2 L's. I always spelled it with 1. Not Ben, Bin. So basically, there it is. There it is. He made this image and posted it like this to Twitter and everything, and people just lost. There.
Oh.
And I agree. It's like, why couldn't we have had this? The insane non-Star Wars fans attacked him for this. Like, they called him everything under the sun. I'm looking at this. You know what? All of you can fuck off. This guy just lost a friend. He deserves to have something like this.
Yeah. By the way, did you see the video I sent you?
Which one?
It's the mini lad one. Specifically because it's about the new Star Wars.
We'll talk about. I'll watch it later. But that's my point. It comes down to just having. Right. So back to what I was saying with the fan fictions and everything. Like I said, the typical fan fiction always revolves around some Rey type, and I'm not even going to say Mary Sue anymore, just Rey type.
Yeah.
But it always revolves around some Rey type heroine, hero, whatever, destroying everything. And a lot of times, like I said, I feel like a lot of fanfic writers are unjustly lumped into them because I've read really good stories about like characters, about actually adding more to them to the point where I was like, I can. That kind of detail work, like actually mimicking the character's personality or mimicking what they might do, how the setting is, how two people can get close to each other. That's what I enjoy. Then that's what fanfic writers can do. Hell, I admit I make my own fan fictions on occasion, but even then I don't focus it around some super god character. I actually write it around the universe, like small stories in universe.
Yeah.
I never try to make them.
I said yeah.
I always strive to make these stories about some rando character within the universe and what they do or how they put up with it. And I mostly do it around things that have a large universe to it, like Mass Effect, Star Wars, etc., where there is space for these kind of character stories to exist, or these kinds of characters to plausibly make sense in. That's my goal. That's what I've always strived to do. And that's what, and of course, because I say that, everyone's just going, he's making this up. He's probably a shitty writer. No, I try to be different. And that's the stereotype people assume: fanfic writer who doesn't understand what they're doing. Ironically, if you want that, just look at what Disney's doing with Star Wars. That's real fan fiction, right there, masquerading as canon, and I stand by it.
Yep.
like I said, it hurts. Like I said, fandom has evolved from something that people could, put their hat on with pride and actually make something amazing to something that fills people with shame and everything. And it hurts. It really does.
Because of the whole Gary Sue, Mary Sue thing, every time I make a post about my characters, I always have to point out this character is not Mary Sue or Gary Sue because their powers are insanely limited to what they can do. I've even had somebody point out, again, going back to the Kaiju Guardians, about like Mary Sue and Gary Sue, and I point out these guys are kaiju. They are 300-meter tall monsters. You can't say that for shit. Also, they're not like running around human-sized, destroying buildings with the flick of the wrist. They are insanely limited.
Yes, and like I said, a good character is someone who struggles and changes, and that's what I always try to mimic with my.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
try to make a character who struggles, grows, and becomes better.
Yeah.
Over time. But yeah, like I said, that's for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Still. But like I said before, it all just kind of meshes, and now it's getting. Nowadays, we just have this annoying shit, and I'm hoping this is just a phase in the world. After, I don't know, 20 something, we get back to decent shit again. When when all these idiots, losers basically just decide, okay, we're done here, we're leaving. That's what I hope. Ugh,
Yeah.
this turned into like a micro.
This entire episode was a micro rant. We've been going for like 3 hours.
Exactly. But I guess that covers everything. So
yeah.
At least today. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode. This has been Rev, as always, signing off. Stay tuned to the end for HH's usual post-stream spiel.
Where the hell did where's the image?
What image?
This is the outro. What? Where is the outro image?
Did you check under?
Oh, there it. This actually happens a lot with OBS. If all my image files that you see, except for like the little Cupid, is connected to my jump drive or my MP3 player, and whenever I turn off my computer, the MP3 player is automatically disconnected. So whenever I turn it back on, I have to unplug and then replug it. And sometimes when I do that, images disappear from OBS.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, as I said, stay tuned in the end for HH's usual post-stream spiel. This has been Rev, signing off. See you all next time.
Alright, now it's just me and you guys. This turned out to be an interesting episode. Tomorrow is D&D with my friend Like and Alpha, hopefully. I have a dentist appointment. Saturday is going to be Portal 2. This is most likely going to be the end of the game, not really sure. Just I realized very quickly that I can do Portal 2 puzzles very fast. And I already knew what to do. After the solo play of Portal 2, it will be multiplayer campaign. We are going to. I have to remind myself who certain people are. Should I host this one? Who is this person? Who is this person? I don't know this person. I don't know who this person is. No, I'm not going to host them because I don't know. And I got an ad for World of Warcraft Classic. So, for those of you on YouTube, this is where we're going to end it. Oh, not just yet. For those of you on Twitch, we're going to go raid a friend as soon as I'm done with my spiel. But down below in the description, there is a link. And down below on Twitch, there is a creeper face that say donate or support the stream by clicking on this link. It doesn't work. It actually shouldn't be there. I forgot to remove the creeper face. I will do that after this stream, hopefully. I am still working on it. I really don't have any free time. With it being winter, like, coming up, I actually have some things to do around the house. So I have even less free time. But I have to thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna go raid our good friend Alia. I think I said that wrong. I read it like it's sung in a song that my family and I listen to all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next week, hopefully. Have a good night, everybody.